Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio, and a fine Libations Friday to you and yours. Loosey-goosey. You're having a better day than Robert Kraft. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you're going to listen live via the streaming free always. If you miss anything, go back, get caught up. All 3 hours posted upon the conclusion of the show. Florida State, North Carolina. 3:45 tomorrow at the Dean E. Smith Center in Chapel Hill. Live on CBS. That's channel 433. Yeah, you don't have to go to find some place you've never heard of. Like, what is Bounce? Nope, CBS.
Was Dean Smith the dean of the business school?
No.
For the young
kids. Yeah. You know? They're like, what is that?
Who's Dean Smith?
Oh, man. He really kind of ruined basketball for many years, truthfully. Four Corners is ridiculous. Setting us back,
ridiculously effective.
65 years. They're like, oh, man, really? We're going to take the best athletes, just spread them out and let them pass it for an hour? Come on, my man. Let's get it together.
He helped us in, get a shot clock in the sport, I guess.
Yeah, he kind of tried to ruin the game. Anyhow, that said, Florida State, North Carolina tomorrow. Excited about it. And, look, I mean, last time we played up there, it was in 2017. That year, by the way, North Carolina won the national championship. We got off to a slow start in that game and then really kind of came back and played pretty well in that game, if you recall. It was a 3-point game with under 10 minutes to play, and that's kind of what I'm really, really hoping for when we get this chance tomorrow, is that you give yourself a fighting shot. Now, that year we didn't walk away with a win, but it was a 3-point game with 6-something to play, and you give me that, that's all I can ask for. They went on a run at the end, and they pulled away from us that day. High-scoring game, and I feel like Luke May, who was there for 105 years, he had 15 rebounds. Remember that? Remember how frustrating that was? I think it was out of Miami. I was watching that game on television. Like, this guy's just going to rebound everything? I mean, what are we doing here?
Everything.
Literally everything.
Everything.
Yeah, but we're a much better rebounding team now.
That's the battle.
There we go.
That is the battle for tomorrow, is if we can hold our own on the glass, then we're going to have something for him.
Well, You want a guy like a Kabengele who's got a whole lot of what for and rises to the occasion physically, mentally. He's a tough SOB. He loves games like this. He wants to get after it. He's willing to scrap. You got that guy. And lately, surprisingly, Kamaji's had a little what for to him too.
Christ has had something to his game around the 10 now.
He's been a little bit.
He'll box you out.
He's been a little bullied. He's bowed up some,
especially on the defensive glass. Now he's had some putback dunks in recent games, but I don't know he's going to get that against Carolina. But hey, listen, man, if you're able to fight for some tough rebounds against teams like Louisville and a team like Clemson, then you're doing some things, and that may be able to translate tomorrow. I'm sure we're going to be amped up for this one.
We will, and I will be crossing my fingers that I get my scenario, because I just want that. I love winning. If you can ever win at Duke and ever win at North Carolina, it just makes your year. We're already having a good year. This is kind of gravy in a way. You want to play well against the best teams, of course, but if you can win at those two places, we all know that's the cream of the crop, the blue bloods. You want that. By the way, Luke May, when I alluded to him earlier, of course, he's still there. That's impossible. It just is. For all the guys we feel like they've been playing somewhere for a long time, that's the one where I go, good God, man.
Well, they seemingly always have 2 or 3 guys that just stick with the program. Like, Kay is completely flipped to one and dones, and I'm going to do Calipari better than Calipari could ever do his own act. But Roy has always had a blend of some kids that'll stick around for at least 3 years, and Luke May is just another in the long line of them.
Kobe White is a guy that you'll hear Leonard Hamilton talk about and others. I mean, man, that's a baller.
Yes.
That's a problem. I'm not happy when I look out there and I see a kid of that caliber and he's a freshman.
Not a bad consolation prize if you lose the Zion lottery, right?
Right.
You got a guy like that, like the other 2 Duke kids. I mean, there's some real talent out there this year.
That's not a dominant defensive unit that North Carolina is going to roll out there tomorrow. And, they do 4 steals and they get out in transition, and they'll dunk on you, as Duke can testify to. But
yeah, between us and them, right? Because Coach K after our game.
Yeah.
If we could get him to stop dunking on us. Get out of my face.
So many. But, yeah, it's like I know. Man, there's plenty of time to get into that game. Let's hope like hell we can knock down some shots early, gain a little bit of confidence. It's a nice winning streak. We've been really, really enjoying this, and you got to get them to slow down. It's odd that we're in a position to kind of want to have to slow North Carolina down. Do you think we will? Because I've wrestled with this all week long. When teams will go out and run with us, we tend to like it. So few of them allow for it to happen anymore. When Duke did it, we were like, okay, let's go.
No,
let's go.
Let's go for it.
You want to run?
I want it to be proven. Well, I want it to be proven to us before we stop running. Let's go run and see what this track meet looks like.
So if it's a high wire act early and every other possession ends in a thundering dunk from one of their players off of an oop, you're gonna go, okay, we don't have to run. We can slow things down.
We like to oop it.
We do.
Syracuse knows. Duke knows.
Who's gonna get back, right?
Yeah, who's going to get back? Let's not flex, after we dunk, because guess what?
Oh, they're coming right
back.
They're
at half court already.
Well, Duke did that to us. We'd be over there. I'm like, no, get back. They're coming. They don't care about that dunk. Hey, folks, don't forget Corner Pocket Bar and Grill presenting the 3rd annual philanthropy of the Fairways on the Fairways Golf Tournament, benefiting our local teens in foster care. I'm a big proponent of this as somebody who, long before I got into talk radio, dealt with that system and worked as a counselor. I can tell you that this is very much in need.
And this is a tournament that remember Corner Pocket had one booked for a little while ago.
Suspended due to rain.
Exactly. The weather was terrible for that particular day, so they have now rescheduled for this most worthy cause, and it's coming up in just 2 weeks.
March the 8th, 10 o'clock tee time Friday. That's March the 8th, the Golf Club at Summerbrook, putting it on $75 per person for a foursome. It's 300 bones, shotgun style, scramble. You can sign up in person at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, which is there on Appalachian Parkway, or you can call David Beck at Summerbrook, 850-591-3086. And you know what? If you just want to help out, that's good too. A lot of people do in this community. They don't have the time to golf, or they can't get off of work or something like that. Swing past the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, and you can drop off a check and make it payable to War Chant Corner Pocket Charities.
Yeah, the heart they have at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill for anybody who is in need is it's in the right place, and that's probably understating it. So this is a great thing to support, and it's also one of those notes, man, that golf season is back and golf tournament season is back.
You're damn Skippy.
So there might be some Fridays where I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, if it's the summertime, we're going to take the day off and go play golf, Tom. I know that's going to happen. That can happen on occasion. It's also always cool when I get a chance to talk to Trey Jones. This weekend is the Seminole Invitational. He's going to join us in the next segment. That's kind of been a floating. We're trying to pin him down. We got him for the next segment. Later in the show, I'm still waiting for more details. Of course, I got to talk about my man Bob Kraft. Come on, brother. What are you doing? But it's further evidence. There's no such thing as an up-and-up massage parlor.
Oh!
There is no I'm telling you. Now, listen, somebody's operating a massage parlor that's on the up-and-up that helps people, and they're like, come on, Cameron. I'm just saying, though, there's a particular type of massage parlor.
It's undercutting your cause, man.
We all know. It's like the bad lawyers, bad talk show hosts, bad anything. They ruin it for everybody else who's good at what they do. So somebody's out there helping people feel better. Therapy, well, they're helping people feel better, all right. Hey. Bob's like, I'm off to Jupiter. What? Why are you going to Jupiter? Don't worry about it.
You can afford, sir, to go to Jupiter, like the planet, and you want to go to Jupiter, Florida.
Why are you going to Jupiter, Bob? Don't you worry about me. I'm going to Jupiter. You've been going to Jupiter a lot lately, Bob.
Yes, I have. I'm so proud of this organization and Jupiter, Florida.
Oh, my goodness gracious. We'll get to it. That's a toughie. Got to make better decisions, Bob. Better decisions.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
tickets, and the admission and parking is free.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he lost it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
I'm Michael Blank, attorney with the law office of Jose Fernandez. If you've been in an accident, I know this can be a scary and confusing time. Our firm specializes in handling all types of accident and injury cases. Let us guide you through the process and get you the compensation you deserve. Call 855-HOSE-305 to make an appointment for your free consultation today. If you can't come to us, we can come to you, day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, the law office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid unless you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. Se habla español. JRFinjury.com.
Want better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine? Change your oil every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. You know that sticker on your windshield? Don't look at it now. Wait until the next red light. Okay, check the number on your sticker. Then check your odometer. Is it time? There are 19 Tallahassee area Super Lube locations, which means there's one close to you right now. No appointments, and you're in and out in no time. You could do this today. Super Lube, for better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine.
How I love to Super Lube my car. Yes, sir.
You're in a better place now. Rest in peace.
Dude, it's just a carton box.
That's not all it was. It used to be filled with happiness and hope.
And what happened?
I ate it all.
Come visit Tallahassee's award-winning mac and cheese food truck, the Tally Mac Shack, and get a hold of the Florida Boil Mac, a delicious pepper jack Cajun-infused mac and cheese topped with Florida's own local andouille sausage from Registers. For menus and locales, follow at Tally Mac Shack on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Happy cheesing!
Hendrick.
Are you ready to rule the open road? Dale Earnhardt Jr. Chevrolet has just what you need. Right now, get huge savings on the 2018 Silverado 1500 during the Silverado Sell-Down Sales Event. So hurry in to shop our huge Silverado selection at Tallahassee's Chevy Truck Headquarters. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Chevy on West Tennessee or DaleJr.Chevy.com. Find new roads.
Hey, Jeff Cameron here, and it's the new year. What's your New Year's resolution? Well, if you're planning on being healthier, it starts with a good night's rest. You've heard me talk about the tossing and turning I was doing before, but now I wake up feeling great. It's amazing what a difference a good pillow makes. MyPillow had an amazing offer of a 4-pack special. It was such a rare deal at the time, but the good news is this. They've extended their very best offer ever. That's right. Go to MyPillow.com right now. Click on their end-of-the-year special, and here's what you'll find. The lowest price MyPillow has ever offered for their 4-pack, and it includes free shipping. Gets better. Their 60-day money-back guarantee has been extended through March the 1st. Best price ever, free shipping, extended money-back guarantee. What else do you need? Go get it. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the end-of-the-year special, enter my promo code, that's key, 979ESPN, and you'll get 2 premium MyPillows, 2 go-anywhere pillows. Nothing better than a restorative night of rest. Go to MyPillow.com to get it and enter my promo code 979ESPN.
You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
I'll be heading out there this weekend to Golden Eagle. It's the 2019 Seminole Intercollegiate. My man Trey Jones, head golf coach, Florida State University, joins us now to talk about it as it gets underway. I came last year. Was it last year, Trey, that I went out there, or was it the year before?
It was last year when you came out, and you and your sons got to watch John Pack play.
Well, and I fell in love. That's my guy, man. He is, and you know what? I got a good eye for this thing. You teach me well when we do Beyond the Tips, because immediately I thought the swagger on that guy, he believes. He is confident is the code word.
Well, when you play golf like John does, it's you'd be confident too. And I'm not going to beat on your golf game, but he's good at golf, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, he is. All right, so let's tell everybody what they need to know about the 43rd Seminole Intercollegiate and all that good stuff. I guess come out on Saturday and Sunday, correct?
Right. We start tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, and we're doing a shotgun start, which means all teams are going to start at the same time, just on different holes, obviously.
Okay.
We have 14 different teams, Division I teams from around the country that have come in, and we'll play 18 holes in the morning, have lunch on the go, and never stop play, and then play another 18 tomorrow afternoon. So there'll be 36 holes of golf tomorrow, so we'll be here all day for anybody that wants to come out.
Yeah, and you're teeing off, what, at 11:40?
We're going off at 8. We go off 8 in the morning. 11:40 was our practice round today.
I got it. I looked at the wrong damn thing. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
So we go 8 in the morning, and then the second round will start about 12:45.
All right, so listen, I know you respect all of your opponents, and certainly we know Florida State is really good, but who would you highlight here for people wanting to get a good look at some guys that obviously we'll see going on to play in the pros in all likelihood? I know Louisville's got a really good team. They'll be here this weekend as well. Anybody else?
Well, Wake Forest is ranked 6th in the country, and they're here. So they have a great young team, and Jerry Haas, his nephew's Bill and his brother's Jay. So they got a good little Wake Forest lineage there. But Wake Forest is here. You mentioned Louisville. West Virginia has a good golf team. Kentucky's a good team, as well as Jacksonville and Cincinnati. So there'll definitely be some players playing out here that we will see again on the PGA Tour. And in the past, Bill Haas has played here. Brant Snedeker's played here. J.B. Holmes, who speedy golfer himself, played here as well.
Well, and let's count some of your guys that have played here as well. It's not
yeah, those guys, they did too.
Yeah, I was going to say Brooks Koepka may have played here, Daniel Berger may have played here, Ankla Biota might have played here. We can go on down the list, right?
Well, I can tell you, I did. If I wouldn't have been here if they weren't. So it's kind of one of those deals that I say, well, are they going to come? So if they're not coming, I'm not. So.
Well, and John Pack, by the way, is the defending intercollegiate champion, right? So, I mean, you're going to get to see him play as well.
He got his first win here, and that was a big deal for him. He's the ACC Freshman of the Year last year, and he is coming off of back-to-back wins. He won at the Seabass Intercollegiate, which is over at TPC Valley, and opened second. Then he won over Mobile, where he had a second round 63. So John Pack is playing as well as any golfer in the country right now. So that's our Seminole, and I know he'd love any support anybody would give him to come out and watch.
Absolutely. And it's hard to win, Trey. I mean, it's hard to win. And so when guys do, you got to highlight it, celebrate it, talk about it, and you got a good team. Your team's played exceptionally well so far this year. You're going to be happy.
I am. I'm happy where we're at. We're a lot different golf team than we were in October, and that's your goal as a coach. And you mentioned it. It is hard to win. You win twice on the PGA Tour or once on the PGA Tour. You've had a good year, mainly because you don't get to control it, do you? It's not all in your hands.
Real quick, I do want to ask you about this. Do you have? I guess I would ask it this way. I know you've been successful. This event, you guys have won. I know I think as a coach, won it 6 times, right? But I would ask you, is there any extra pressure playing on your home course?
Sure it is. It's the first time and the only time all year that these guys get to play in front of their friends, in front of their family. And that's why we host it. You know, we want to give back to the game, for one. We don't want to be someone that goes to other tournaments, but we host it to allow them to play in front of their friends and family. And for other teams have to come play us on our golf course too. So, but it can be that way. You just have to approach it in the right way of, a golf shot's a golf shot, and you just have a little bit more information than the other guys.
I know people want updates, and they know that we work together and we're friends, but I don't often get a chance to ask you this on the air, so I will. Let's let our listeners know and everybody who is intrigued by all of this. It's a cool thing. Give us an update on the Jack Nicklaus design.
Oh, it's phenomenal. We're 2 months away, Jeff, from putting grass down and beginning grassing it. So we're over 50% with the bulldozing work done. Some holes are already irrigated, and you can see what it is right now. So it's super exciting to be a part of, and thanks for asking. It's been a labor of love for me, and I can't thank the administration of Florida State and our supporters and donors that have made this come true enough. This has just been phenomenal.
One last thing I've asked you, but I want others to hear it. What have you learned from Jack?
Well, you can learn things personally and professionally, but personally, I would say he's such a gracious person. and he's a guy that listens. He's a great listener, and he asks questions. And for someone to be as accomplished as he is an understatement. To be that way and to not to be egotistical, it's not non-existent. From a golf standpoint of how detailed he is and everything he does, when you get him, he's the most focused person I've ever met in my life. And it doesn't matter anything that's going on. He is going to put 100% of his thoughts, his energy, and concentration into your project while you have him at the project. And there's nothing that's just taken for granted. So attention to detail and focus is just off the chart.
I would ask you, so he's just like Greg Norman, of course.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there, but I can tell you. That's an inside joke, isn't it? But
it is. Sorry, folks, and I can't tell you what that inside joke is. Thanks, brother. We'll see you out there. Good luck.
Hey, I did forget to mention, I went through Saturday. We're out here Sunday morning as well. So
right.
If you can't make it Saturday, then we're not done tomorrow for sure. Then come on out Sunday and look forward to seeing anybody that wants to come. It's free, and you get to walk down Cart Path and really right next to these guys. So if you got a young person you're trying to motivate and trying to get them to get into golf, then this is great too.
I can attest to that. It's awesome. And my kids now pay closer attention, certainly to not only Florida State golf, but golf in general, because we went out there and we had that interaction. And so I know you guys are always classy and giving and also really talented. So best of luck, Coach.
Thanks. And one last thing, and we'll get Tom to roll his eyes. If they miss us, then they can listen to us on Wednesday night, right?
Perfectly. Yeah, absolutely. They can do it. I'll pimp it all day long, buddy. Take care.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, bye. That's Trey Jones, head golf coach, Florida State, and he's referring to the show we do together on Wednesday nights, Beyond the Tips, on the PGA Tour channel.
That's fine, Trey. It's not a problem at all. Please.
No, not a problem. And it's a good show.
As your profile increases, so does ours.
That's correct. That's right. We all do. It's a rising tide, and all the ships go with it, buddy. This is, all jokes aside, he's not kidding. This is a good field. Wake Forest, top 10 team. Louisville, whom Florida State just defeated on their way to victory in the last tournament they played in. They barely won that tournament because Louisville's team is deep and talented and experienced. And actually, Trey mentioned to me he thought they were a little bit fortunate to get the win over Louisville. It's a good team this year. And then, of course, in addition, you have Florida State. You also have Kentucky and Jacksonville and a couple of other really good squads out there.
So I'm missing this thing 2 years in a row. It pisses me off to do that. But
it's cool.
Speaking of being angry, when I got there 2 years ago and I went it was at Southwood, so you're on Freddie's Retreat, and there's that it's like a natural stadium bowl behind the par 5 green there. And I walked up and Coach walked over. He said, "Can you believe this?" And he used some choice
words,
terminology,
yeah.
Because he was so furious about the course management of his players. And I've seen Jimbo on the sidelines. Trey was nothing like that or anything, but when you're in that moment and you're trying to get your guys to play smart, it's universal across all sports, the frustration level of a coach. And what was fun was that I'm not an expert in golf, but I played a little bit of competitive golf in the state of Florida in high school, and it can get a little bit heated. And it was nice to feel that, just even if it was from the outside.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just to see Coach and how his wheels turn on a game day or a match day.
Well, he's intense, and I can tell you that. And, you and I both know him, and I know him really well. He's, he's even intense here you go. Sorry. When we went to the Masters, Tom.
Right.
We did a broadcast there at the Masters, Tom. And there's a lot of pressure that comes with that, right? You're on the grounds. You're about to do a broadcast live from Augusta. Well, something wasn't right. That's all I'll say. Something wasn't what it should be. And he was talking to one of the producers. I thought, Tom should see this. He would think I'm the easiest guy in the world. Like, he was furious. But he had reason to be.
Well, he did. Well, the thing is, this is why I wish he was my coach in high school.
He's motivating.
But he is about course management. It's
Big
not
time.
about the mechanics of your swing as much as it is about why did you make that choice. I really could have used that earlier in my development, and I hate that. But it's great to see him interact with his players and challenge them, even on the course and around, saying, what are you thinking?
Well,
get your head straight. Get your head in the game.
They have the conversation beforehand, too. If you deviate from that, you better damn well execute the shot. That's all I'll say. I mean, you can do something you want to do, but you better execute it because this has been mapped out. There's a reason
mapped
we play.
out. That's when you play at that level, you need to map stuff out.
Oh, yeah. and I've learned so much about that from him, about how the pros do that. Everything is mapped out to a T. Now, they'll waver, just like we waver on the show, if there's something better to talk about. But if you're sitting there and you decide to go a different direction, man, you better be able to execute that because obviously risk-reward is everything. Yeah. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
at some point, have you seen, there's a story in Charlotte. I got multiple stories today. There's a story in Charlotte in which a woman went down to the basement in order to get ready for the holidays, Tom. I saw this, or get a head start on the next holiday. You know how some women, and men for that matter, my father, for example, is a good example of this. He's very seasonally conscious. He's a guy that loves to, when it's fall, he's got the decorations. When it's spring, he's got the decorations.
Like
when
the
it's summer,
three-colored leaves.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're very seasonal, right? Now, my wife is, and I'm glad that she is, because it's good for the kids. So, the kids get, when it's Christmas time, we have Santas and snowmen and stuff around the house. When it's going to be Easter, you see the Easter bunnies and stuff around the house. Every freaking holiday, we've got stuff. And I don't care about that stuff, so she's in charge of it. She does it, and I'm glad because the kids get it. It's very festive. This woman was going to do that. She was going down to her basement to set up for the next holiday, and what she found was a hole in the ground in the basement that was circular. It was a perfect, there's no such thing, but like a perfect circle.
So an animal made it.
And so I would have said, oh, no, what are we doing here? I would have run. It's a big one. I've seen the picture online. It's a big one. So then she looks down there and she sees it and she goes, huh. So she's braver than I am because I would have run thinking there was some very sizable beast living down there.
Or a clown.
Oh, geez, yeah. I hadn't thought about that. But anyhow, so she doesn't run at all. She's very calm. She goes and she gets a flashlight and she shines it down into the hole. Would you do that? Would you do that?
Hell to the no.
I wondered if you'd do that.
No, I'd fill it up with gasoline first and throw a match in there. Take a precautionary measure.
You call it a day, right? No, so this woman looks down into the hole and she sees what she thinks. And I thought this was fascinating because I'm just not educated enough about these things. I'm going to be real honest with you. I want to read this woman, Ashley Wiedner. That's her name. I want to read her quote. I couldn't figure out what it was at first, so I was kind of speechless. I'm looking at the debris inside of this very, very large, deep hole in the ground, and it dawned on me that this is a structural pier. What? What in the hell? I would have never said that. I would have never thought of that. I would have never gone, you know what I think it is, hon? It's a structural pier. You would never hear that, right? She said she knew that it had to have been used at some point, probably in a mine. So she starts thinking like this. She's thinking this was once an entry structural pier there for a mine.
Wait, so she's lived in this house for how long?
I don't know.
She's never noticed it?
Never noticed it.
Okay.
I'll show you a picture of it right here. That's that hole. It's a big-ass hole right there.
Did it just, was it covered up and it just appeared?
Yeah, when you were looking at the house, wouldn't you have been like, what's with the hole down there? That's probably not good. She spent the next week talking with her home insurance company, various structural engineers, soil experts, land surveyors, and local construction companies. The hole had swallowed a cement and brick support pillar holding up the floor of their kitchen.
Aha. Okay.
Aha, indeed. Dining room and hallways were also attached, worried that the floor under their feet would just collapse. Her and her fiancé, Darius, contemplated evacuating the home, but they didn't. They stayed. Their home was built in 1933, Tom. No one seemed to know what caused the ground to give away in the deepening hole, so the more they looked on the internet, the more they came to one conclusion, and that was it was probably made during the gold rush of the 1830s in North Carolina. They found an old observer story that detailed a network of underground tunnels and non-working mine shafts scattered throughout Charlotte. That's pretty cool. I'm like you. We would have burnt it to the ground and never found out because we'd have been scared to death.
It's like, there you go, clown man.
So now they've gone for another set of experts they're bringing in, and it could very well be that they've discovered the hole under their house is connected to one of more than 75 mines that operated over 150 years ago in Charlotte and Mecklenburg County and may lead to gold. Lots of gold. Of course, it's like the people at the garage sale with paintings. You find out it's a Van Gogh. It's been lost forever. It's worth $25 million. It's always this way. So these guys may end up exceptionally rich. And it opened up another chapter of history that I knew nothing about, which there are old pictures of, which is an influx of Chinamen that came and were looking for gold. Probably not the proper nomenclature.
That's not the proper nomenclature, dude. Please, Asian Americans.
So how about that? Did you know that? I did not. I've got pictures.
So there's a gold rush in Carolina, you say?
I would have never guessed that. Throughout the 1830s, financiers and prospectors come from all over the world, actually, to dig in Charlotte. And
probably from Deadwood.
Which they're making a movie.
I know. Well, they're all going to be in rocking chairs.
It's going to be good.
Like Swearingen's going to be...
I don't want to hear it. It's going to be great.
Okay.
So, anyhow, now they know what it is, and these people are probably going to be freaking rich. And I'm going to be angry about it. Just like the $2 Babe Ruth card. That's a recent thing, too.
Somebody got a Babe Ruth card for $2?
$2. $2.
At a garage sale or something?
There's only one.
What, are they fleecing an old person at a garage sale?
No. And this guy's going to do the right thing. He's going to give whatever money, not all of it, some of it, a very small percentage, I'm sure, but enough to change lives, to the guy that sold it to him because he thought that the guy didn't realize the value. Okay, I'm summarizing here. Read the story a while back. Guy goes into a California card dealership, right? He's looking around. He's one of these geeks that knows cards instantly, right? So he's there. He's looking around. He sees this old Babe Ruth card. He's like, I've not seen that one before. He kind of continues to look at it. It's in mint condition. And he's like, well, this is interesting. I've never seen this anywhere. And he asked the guy behind the counter, why is that only $2? It's a Babe Ruth. The guy goes, it's a fake. I've never seen it either. It's not part of a series of any kind. We don't know who made it. I don't think it's real. I think it's just somebody just made it recently and pawned it off. And he's like, are you sure? He's, no, but I don't think it's legit. I've had some people come look at it. He goes, I'll buy it. He gives him the $2, buys it, does research of his own. Turns out there's like one of two ever made. It's this one. They thought they were long gone. He was able to trace it back to the original company. It was like this broken deal that Ruth agreed to. Then the deal stopped. Only two ever went out. This guy had it. It's worth over $2 million. This makes me so...
I feel like you search these stories out. I think subconsciously you look for these because they do make you so furious.
Maybe. But, I mean, just so you know, that story... is gonna here it is.
I don't think it's just the listeners. I think you find these. I think you look for them just to be angry about it.
Well, no, I don't do that. I read a lot of articles about sports given my job. So one of the things that will happen is that it will populate. You know how like the internet suggests you like this.
Well, that's true. Well, since you clicked on so many, yes, the internet's like, here's more, man.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. They line up along the side over there on the page.
You got an addiction? All right. Now how about this sub store? What do you think of that?
Yeah.
$5.
They do that. And here's the thing. I'll be sitting there reading a story and they'll go, what's this? They found anything that's found, anything to do with archaeology or that's old, that's going to make somebody rich, that story, it pops up. Gotcha, Cameron. Check out these people.
Man, we should have like a local card shop, sponsor They Found. And that's it. It's like They Found with Jeff Cameron. And what did they find today, Jeff? It could be anything from centuries ago.
I could do an entire podcast about that. I love that stuff. I've read it. It makes me mad and happy all at the same time. It's like when they found an original copy, one of the however many copies of the Constitution in a painting. That's ridiculous. Somebody found that at a garage sale. Rich beyond their wildest dreams. Oh, we've been looking for this. It's one of 17. You're like, what in the world? And that amazes me. Other people, again, coming across Rembrandts and things like that. Garage sale, $5. That looks strangely like a Rembrandt. Must be a knockoff. No, it's an actual. How about that? It's worth over $1 million.
See, I'm kind of happy for the people in these stories, and the reason I'm happy for them
because they're educated. They know enough to know. Oh, you talking about this?
Well, no, just in general. Like if you luck into the Constitution being in the back of a painting you bought,
which is crazy.
I know. But think about it. Like any of us who are growing up, and I was very lucky and very fortunate. That's all luck. So these people, they have their luck come just years into their life. But that's kind of cool that it happens to them later. There's like this payoff for them. Now, if they were already rich, then screw them. But if it's just like a guy who's trying to make ends meet, he's looking at the attic out somewhere. And,
well, it's like that guy in Jersey, the fireman. who he was building. He was building with his bare hands because he didn't have enough money to buy a house. He was building this thing, and he goes out to this shed area, and he finds that old card, whatever it was. I don't remember.
I think that's awesome.
That part,
I
awesome,
didn't do anything to grow up the way I did, and as lucky and as fortunate as I was.
Yeah, you born into it. Yeah,
at least
very fortunate.
At least this person went to a garage sale and said, "Hey, that's a nice painting." What is this?
Well, now I'll give the person that recognizes the possibility, the telltale signs, understands sort of the math of the equation there.
Yeah.
Walking in and recognizing the lines.
This guy's, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this dude here, that person.
He's probably like, man, I could make maybe 10 grand off of this. And then he realized, I could make millions.
Well, yeah, then he started doing the research. Now, that part would be fun, by the way. Can you imagine coming home and you just have a suspicion? You're like, I bought this card for $2. I mean, it's nothing, $2, whatever. If it's not worth anything, who cares?
I'd leave it in a place in my house I could just stare at it as I leave and enter a room. Like, I see you.
I see you.
Tell me your story.
So he, probably gets on there, starts typing it up, and then he's looking in. Next thing you know, oh my God, this may be the one. I would never believe it. I've always wanted to ask a lottery winner, like, if you win untold millions, you potentially are going to win $400 million, and you bought a ticket, and you do the thing where you forget about it like they all do, and you're like, oh, I never checked. I should check, see what happened with those numbers. And they type it in, like, well, I got a 7 and a 42. And an 8. Look at that! I've got the first 3 numbers. At what point when would you start to go? I don't even play the lottery. What is it? What do you need? 5 or 6?
I think it's 6.
6.
And then there's like a Powerball if you want to have like the multiplier. I think. I don't know. I don't play the lottery.
I don't either. Unless it gets, I'm so dumb. So I'll wait till the lottery gets to be like $500 million, as if I'm scoffing at the $20 million I could wear if I played it other times. But anyhow, so
the other thing is, if you buy multiple numbers, I'm sure Mario, who's listening, could either verify or just spit in the face of this. But as I understand it, statistically speaking, it changes in no way your chances of winning. Like, you could buy 100 tickets.
It has to change.
Not in a significant.
Right.
Infinitesimal, not in a significant way.
Oh no, of course not. Right. No, I agree with that.
So you might as well just buy one at that point.
Correct. Yeah. So, I mean, either way.
But the people who buy, like, it's based upon, there's a sliding scale based upon
they're
how many
crazy.
Millions.
Just they got problems. Just buy your one. But I agree. So anyhow, you buy the one and you get it and you say, all right, let's do it. Well, then you get there, and at what point do you begin to believe? Probably never. Like, if I actually went through and I had 6 numbers and they were all exactly right, I'd go 6. I'm 6 for 6. This says I just won $1 million. I don't believe that, but it says that I did. I wouldn't believe that I won.
Not until
they said that's the one. You win.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
would you allow yourself, even for a second?
Bro, I mean, okay, so Christmas, my parents, they always give you a stocking stuffer of a scratch off. I won $500 in that thing. I didn't believe that.
Yeah, you're like $500.
Come on. I'm like staring at it different ways.
My brother John won like $5,000 last year. One of those things, got a gift from like a grandmother or something, and just, hey, look at that. $5,000.
It's pretty nice. Yeah.
Well, out of nowhere, that doesn't suck at all. You're like, goodbye, credit card debt.
Well, and the threshold, I think, is somewhere in the 600 range, because we had some other ones that were 10 and 15s. Mm-hmm. So that's like the big thing at Christmas, is all the family gets together and sees who could be lucky.
Do, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, just who could be lucky. And so I think the threshold is like $650, and then they have to actually give you an invoice or whatever. But if it's a little bit less, then they could just cash you out at your local convenience store.
Good deal. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Jeff, email. If I'm worth $1 billion and I'm 78 years old, when they bust me at the massage parlor, I'm going to be telling the press, I hope the booking and bond process is quick so I can get back there by 5. In fact, I was going to go twice today. Have a good one. Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking, though, about this. Right, we're all kind of chuckling here. I don't know if the leak, that there is a actual news story part of this, short of us just having fun at his expense.
Yeah, how about Goodell and Jerry Jones today, huh?
Well, so that's what I mean. Like, what? Did they get their chance?
Jerry does. I think Goodell wouldn't. He doesn't want to.
Oh, Jerry's got to be careful. Those in glass houses, my friend. Jerry... There are pictures on the internet of Jerry with ladies that are 40 years younger than him that may or may not be on the up and up. Those get floated out by the likes of Deadspin on the regular. So I'm sure if they've come across those.
Yeah, well, so if you're Robert Kraft's people, you're digging up dirt everywhere just to protect you.
Think about it. You've got it. Every one of those owners, billionaire, privileged white dudes who've bought what they've wanted. Across the board for a long time.
Apparently not efficiently in some cases.
Here's what I don't get, though, and I, again, just practically speaking, just being more pragmatic. If you're Robert Kraft, man, you are a billionaire. You don't have to go to Jupiter to, what was it called? What was the name of the place? Anyhow. That place.
It would be important to get that right and not speculate on
because then that would be problematic.
But if you're stating a fact, you're stating a fact.
Well, I'll tell you, So here's the deal. Why would you not just fly to Nevada?
Sure.
If you're going to fly down to Miami or Jupiter, just fly to Nevada, brother.
Mm-hmm. How about Thailand? Go for it.
Aruba. Have a good time.
Aruba?
Yeah.
Oh,
there are a lot of places that offer these kinds of things, Tom. Go wherever you want to go and pay good money. And like you said, Thailand, Tom, I'm sure would be like, come on in, Bob Kraft.
I mean, he's not, yes, exactly.
He's not destitute. He can go anywhere he wants.
If you're in his club, it's a mail order service.
You don't have to. No, there are.
You can even get their family in with a green card.
There's a ton of other circumstances and other side issues here. I'll wait to hear more details. I am beginning to hear more and more disturbing news that perhaps this is on video, and that need not ever make its way to the interwebs. Let's leave that alone. That the NFL...
I think I'd rather watch atrocities from the Middle East than,
Yeah, nobody needs to see...
No.
Nobody needs to see that. I agree with you. But that is the rumor. But I thought, you must be going senile. How in the world do you not... Doesn't he have a right-hand man? Doesn't he have a guy that looks after him?
Nope.
Somebody that would say, look, Bob, I know why you're going to Jupiter. You're pushing your luck.
It ain't for spring training.
That's right, yeah. You're pushing your luck here. We don't need this. If you need some help, and I understand, you lost your wife, it's a tough deal, okay? So...
Oh, no, I'm going to Jupiter to find an antique automobile. There's a dealer down there. Do I have to tell you again?
Yeah, let me go to Jupiter with you, Bob, because I know you got a bit of a wandering eye these days.
I don't want you to come with me.
Bob, you pay me good money to look after you. Now let me look after you, Bob. You don't want to be in the paper for this. I know what's going on. It's not a massage parlor, is it, Bob?
I pay you good money so I can tell you to shut up and stay out of my life.
Bob, let's go get something to eat. Let's talk this through, okay? Let cooler heads prevail. Come on, let's go.
Okay, let me go. I just need to use the bathroom real quick.
He hauls ass. Go ahead. Bob, I'll wait. Nothing's real quick with you these days, Bob. Come on.
Except Super Bowl success.
Oh, man. But really, most of these guys who have that kind of money and are involved in a million different things and they're flying all over they have an assistant that would say, dude, I understand what's going on here. I got it. So let me help you out here.
I would pay a way too large portion of the expendable income that I have to know what Bill Belichick's reaction was when he heard this news. Because it could be anything from, well, of course, to what?
No. He probably chuckled.
Right.
Oh,
but I would just like to be able to see it and have that on like an Instagram video.
Yeah, I think he chuckled. Bill's a little freaky deaky too. He's weird. I mean, the way he remember. I don't want to talk about it.
It's a
crazy.
Libations Friday.
Golly, but there's a lot of weirdness with that Patriot family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brady.
Brady and him kissing afterwards. That was kind of strange. That's not normal.
That was like that Papa John kiss that Peyton Manning gave old Papa.
Yeah, you're like, what is going on here?
I love you, Big Papa.
Jesus. Come on, man.
Better ingredients indeed.
Oh, I think that we should round out the 3 there and call it. Let's move on. That was a good email. If I were 78 a bit. Hey, let's hurry it up here. I got to get back to the massage parlor.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
On Appalachian Parkway, give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Valid 2/22 through 2/24. Buy one denim item at regular price, get the second denim item of equal or lesser value for free. Conditions and exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Driving every day from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio. WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. Patriots owner Robert Kraft is now facing 2 charges of soliciting prostitution at a Jupiter, Florida massage parlor. Police say there is video of Kraft paying for sex acts inside that massage parlor. A spokesman for Kraft categorically denies that the Patriots owner engaged in any illegal activity. NFL owners are subject to the league's personal conduct policy and are held to a higher standard than players. After saying he might retire if the Patriots won the Super Bowl, safety Devin McCourty tells the Sports Spectrum podcast he'll be back for the upcoming season. McCourty has played all 9 of his NFL seasons with the Patriots, 8 of those 9 as a captain. The Lakers beat the Rockets last night as they try to mount a charge for a playoff spot. ESPN's Chiney Agwumake.
I think that the Lakers can definitely make the postseason. Now, the problem is it's not going to be easy. They'll need that type of focus that they had against the Rockets yesterday. They're 2.5 games back from the 8th position. Right now sitting at the 10th position. But if you look at how hard they played defensively, that's a good sign. If you look at how well Brandon Ingram played, 27 or 29 points, somewhere in there, that's a good sign. If you look at how LeBron just straight up took over, those are all the right signs that the Lakers actually want to make the postseason.
Chiney Ogwumike on Golic and Wingo. A Friday night NBA doubleheader on ESPN, tipping off at 7 Eastern tonight with the Spurs and the Raptors. That game will be followed by the Jazz and Thunder in Oklahoma City. Texas guard Kerwin Roach II is now indefinitely suspended for a violation of team rules. He's the leading scorer for the Longhorns, averaging 15 points a game.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachie Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Hour number 2, Libations Friday. Hello. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online. ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming. So you guys were hiding it from me. I didn't know. I'm going to get to this story in a second. But a couple of you jumped on board, and now I'm angry. I'm angry, Tom. Another one of these moments. It's never going to happen to me. Happens to everybody else. Seemingly once a month these days. We're online at ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything. If you do, go get caught up, as we'll post all 3 hours to iTunes and our own audio vault. Florida State, North Carolina tomorrow. I just like identifying the teams in the conference in which the ding-ding is sitting at the end of the block watching very carefully. And it does not include us in any way, shape, or form. No, the choo-choo resides here in Tallahassee. But the ding-ding, he's looking at NC State carefully. He's looking at Clemson very carefully. A couple of others that he's keeping an eye on that we'll see.
The ding-ding always has work. That's the thing, because I like the character, the ding-ding. He's an odd character, smells terrible. But
he smokes incessantly. He's a chain smoker.
I mean, you could be within 1,000 feet of the ding-ding, and you know that he's there.
Ding-ding.
He is ridiculous. But I'm glad he has constant work, even though we don't need him anymore.
No, he was we familiarized ourselves with the ding-ding for a very long period of time. It was, he's the house guest that wouldn't leave. It's a little annoying. You invite the guy to stay because he's not a bad guy and he's a little down on his luck. So you say, okay, you can stay with us for a few days. Where are you headed after this? Down to Miami. You're like, okay, all right. Well, then you take it to Miami after that. Next thing you know, it's been a week. Like, ding, ding. Listen, man, you're eating me out of house and home here. The place stinks. I need you to take it on down the road, Big River. So these days we don't worry about it. He's best to watch from afar. Enjoy his, kind of personality. He is unique, as you said. But the ding-ding's not here. He's not here. He's looking at a lot of teams around the country. He's looking at the University of Florida. He's thinking about going to Gainesville. You bet. That's him.
With us, I think he got to Thomasville when we were 1-4 in the ACC, and then we started winning games.
He was like, let me pay him a visit.
And then he turned right around.
I'll go say hello, my old friends. And the next thing you know, they won again last night. I'll leave him be.
He doesn't have to go to Miami this year, right?
No, that's the beep beep.
Yeah.
Beep beep. Beep beep. I'm here. The beep beep is down in Miami, has been for some time. Drops in on Georgia Tech, Pitt, Boston College. Beep beep. The ding ding is a little bit more prestigious than the beep beep. But everybody wants the choo-choo.
The ding-ding smells worse, but he moves faster than the beep-beep.
Plus,
the
beep-beep's
beep's okay. It's like sterile, but it goes 12 miles an hour.
It's boring. There's nothing to do. At least the ding-ding, you can get down. I mean, you can have some fun.
It offers you water, but it's the kid-sized little bottles.
Tiny, just a tease. Yeah. The ding-ding's like smoke them if you got them, and there's vodka in the cabinet in front of you, and He doesn't care. He's like, come on.
Have fun. I know.
Let's go do this.
I know you didn't pick me. I didn't pick you either.
Let's go do this thing. Come on, we're going. And then that's it. You're like, all right, so we got to go with the ding-ding. But at least he is who he is. There's no pretense here. You know the deal. You're like, okay, all right, ding-ding. Let's go see if we can't win this thing. All right, that's what I want to hear. And then off you go. Because that's how everybody is when you're in the NIT. It's kind of like, well, I guess I'll watch. I mean, if we're in this thing, we might as well try to win the NIT. That's right.
It's that weird college party. You're like, well, we're here.
Yeah, I mean, and they do have free drinks.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Stay for about an hour?
Yeah. It'll get squirrely around 10:30.
Be time to leave. Yeah, I'm sure that guy's going to walk through the door and we're going to know. Time to go. That's not the guy you want to be around.
I can see that these two are going to have a problem, but they're not on that
they
level yet.
They don't know it yet, but it's about to be.
Yeah.
That's funny what you just said because that's true. We've all been to that party where you're like, that guy is not going to get along with that guy. This is a burgeoning problem. This is going to be an issue here.
That guy's downing whiskey, and that guy is downing martinis. You know what I'm saying?
And they root for teams that are diametrically opposed. And
they root for things in life that are diametrically opposed.
That's right.
But they're both about the same size and the same level of boisterous.
Size each other up. Yeah. Here we go. It's going to be bad. Going to be a bad deal. I'll get to more Florida State, North Carolina in a bit. But first, the big news. Thanks for sending it to me, all of you who are insiders on the show and have been long-time loyal listeners. My likes, dislikes, well documented with you. I get this headline sent to me early in the morning, Tom. City settles with Jacksonville Landing, clearing way for demolition. And then I saw that and I laughed that somebody sent it to me. And then the next thing I knew, within an hour, I had 50 of these sent my way. Jeff, the Landing is no more. What am I going to do, Tom? I've made fun of the Landing for eons.
Well, what are these people going to do? They're going to have clearer lungs, and they won't have the MSG wings, right?
The 31-year-old mall is going to be no more. I once sat at the Landing upstairs at a bar.
Go figure.
And I was with a bunch of friends, and we were watching Phil, and he missed a 2-foot putt, maybe less than 2 feet putt, to tie the lead of a tournament. I don't know what the tournament was.
Probably a major. Yeah.
Probably
on a Sunday.
And we were sitting there, and I accidentally, because I'd had a couple of beers.
And it was for par.
It was for par, and it was 2 feet. It was less than 2 feet.
Never for birdie.
No.
It always misses par putts.
It was right there. Tom, I'm telling you, this putt, if you're watching on YouTube, it's like that big. That's it. He missed it and missed it badly.
Like if he could have 5 putts back in his career, he'd have 5 more majors. It's that simple for him.
Couple tee shots as well. But the only thing I'd say is that he misses that putt, and I was with Matt Britton and another person, and we were all at this bar. It was crowded. I don't know.
Lots of cigarette smoke in the air.
Of course, it's the Landing, buddy. And I'm looking around and I'm thinking. I remember it was packed, and I wanted us to go. I wanted us to switch bars or something. Anyhow, so I was just about to say something, but I wanted to see this putt. And I wanted to see the next hole. It was a big moment. And I look up, he misses that putt. And because I had been imbibing a little bit, perhaps the noise level in which I speak, Tom, it elevated. I didn't realize it at the time. And I yelled something inappropriate about Phil.
That never happens.
I said something too loudly that would cause one to go, oh, hey. And as soon as I said it, Matt laughed. He thought it was funny. Matt was like, okay, all right. It's that kind of party. And he was thinking it was funny.
He plays that off better than I do. Britton does.
No,
wait a minute. Immediately I go PR. I'm like, image. Wait a minute.
Yeah, no, you're looking out for me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, he laughed. He was like, he thought it was funny because it was funny. And then the thing was the guys next to us thought it was funny too, but there was a person behind us that did not think it was funny. And I remember, and Christy was like, "Hun,
I mean, honestly."
Yeah. She did. She just kind of squeezed my arm. She's married to me. She just kind of squeezed my arm with, "Hun, that lady behind us that wasn't." It was funny, Tom. You would have laughed, but you would have walked away.
Later. I would have laughed later. That's how these things go. When the vacuum effect is in the room after there is a boisterous comment, in the moment I'm like, what's to come of this? What is the response?
What's going to happen here?
What does the focus group say? And then about 10 minutes later, I'm like, that was awesome.
The city of Jacksonville and the owners of the Jacksonville Landing moved towards ending their all-out legal battle as both sides announced Wednesday, the city would pay $15 million to terminate the owner's long-term lease for city-owned land where their Coppertown Mall currently stands. It is discolored, those copper tops, I tell you, with all the smoke. The settlement agreement requires blah, 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 blah. Anyhow, $15 million. They're going to wipe it clean. They're going to mow that sucker down. That's the end of the landing. Maybe they'll build something worth going to see. Who knows? It's the end of an era, Tom. End of an era.
I never went to the landing. I've never been in Jacksonville other than to drive through it.
Well,
That's it.
There's a picture of the landing that I could show you, Tom, if you'd like to see it during the break. You'll go, oh, well, okay. You'll laugh.
Is it like a poor man's Channel Side or something?
It's just it's a piece of crap.
Not that Channel Side succeeded in Tampa or anything.
No, it's a piece of crap. So, it is what it is. It's been around a long time, man. I can still remember when people would brag about the damn landing. Late 80s. Oh, the landing. And then you go and you're like, it's a mall. It's got a Hooters. Well, who cares? What are we doing here?
It's got a Hooters.
It did.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Tampa's got 3 kinds of Hooters. You know that?
No.
Tampa, they've got the Wing House.
There's the Wing House, which is glorified.
Right.
Yeah. They're all glorified.
Wing House is a little bit less risque.
One of the things, as evidenced by the name, the Wing House.
Right.
I like when they just decide to skirt any sort of thing. Hey, it's called boobs.
Yeah, mugs and jugs.
Mugs and jugs, right. I mean, what are we doing here? We're done.
And then they got the tilted kilt.
But nobody would think that was something.
When you get there, you realize, you're like, oh.
They had that in Pittsburgh.
It's that kind of party.
You can go to the Tilted Kilt in Pittsburgh.
They had, well, I don't know if it's still there, but right next to Bright House Field for the Phillies games was a Tilted Kilt.
Well, I've wondered how long they're going to make it. I mean, it's a different world, Tom.
Oh, well, Hooters has already dialed it back. Big time.
Have they? I
mean, they can't undo the name.
Well, yeah,
but
I haven't been in a Hooters, and this is true. I'm not being sanctimonious. I haven't been in a Hooters in, 15 years.
No, neither have I, but
No, but I'm just saying, I don't like...
The last time was when Brady's ACL was torn in the first game of the season.
Oh, well, then you know what? I know right where I was. It wasn't Hooters. I was screaming at my television, so I just drafted him.
Favre was playing for the Jets that day. Mm-hmm. And
speaking of inappropriate.
Mm-hmm. And what I saw was, without getting me in trouble with a potential client, the bill was just a little much. I was like, oh, my God, really? That's how much we're playing for here. I was a college kid. I'm like, oh, so you're going to charge me full price for these things?
Well, and I don't think we're going to ever get them on because, I mean, the food's terrible, and I've said it before, so what are we going to do?
Okay.
Hey, let's just destroy everything in our wake here in the opening segment to the 4.
Might get them on.
Well, then they're not that bad.
That's how we roll here.
Yeah.
We can be changed. We can be convinced.
Well, it's been so long since I've been there, Tom.
There
Things could have changed.
There it is.
Things could have changed dramatically.
I guarantee you.
Oh, it's a different place altogether. Delectable.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
End of the year special, and here's what you'll find. The lowest price MyPillow has ever offered for their 4-pack, and it includes free shipping. Gets better. Their 60-day money-back guarantee has been extended through March the 1st. Best price ever, free shipping, extended money-back guarantee. What else do you need? Go get it. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the end of the year special, enter my promo code, that's key, 979ESPN, and you'll get 2 premium MyPillows, 2 go-anywhere pillows. Nothing better than a restorative night of rest. Go to MyPillow.com to get it and enter my promo code 979ESPN.
Have you ever noticed when you report an accident or a claim to an insurance company, they are very eager to get you to one of their approved body shops. They say that they guarantee the shop's work, but what they're really saying is the shop works for them, not the customer. So choose a shop that is working for and looking out for you, someone you trust. It's your choice. Lisa's Paint and Body.
License number MP46050.
After 40 years as Florida State Baseball's head coach, Mike Martin Sr. is making this his final season. Join all of us here at Garnet and Gold as we celebrate the farewell tour for the winningest coach in college baseball history with limited edition commemorative baseballs, t-shirts, and caps in stock right now. And while you're here, check out Nike's hot new line of FSU baseball jerseys, tees, and ball caps. Garnet and Gold with 3 locations, West Pensacola Street, Collard, and Governor Square Boulevard. If you're a Seminole, we're your store. Shop local and go Noles.
Mardi Gras is March 5th, and Tasty Pastry Bakery is celebrating with their traditional family recipe for king cakes. Many size options and filling flavors are available. Find out more at tastypastrybakery.com. Tasty Pastry Bakery since 1963.
Seminoles, it's 2019 and a new football season is amongst us. It's a new day, and we have an opportunity to build this program back to where it belongs, together. Every day we get one step faster, one rep stronger. The journey to the top includes you. We are one tribe together, and we remain unconquered. We need you in Doak Campbell Stadium this fall, and that begins by getting season tickets now. Visit us online at Seminoles.com or call 1-888-FSU-NOLE and get ready to hear
Touchdown, Florida State!
Very soon.
It's Golick and Wingo.
I don't think that's fair at all, again, to say your altruism and your sacrifice must be never-ending and that you must fall on this for all of the rest of us at any given time. When you entered into this lawsuit, I mean, obviously part of this was people thought, all right, we want to actually prove collusion and all these different things, but you were also suing for something. You were suing for damages, and you were suing for time lost in an NFL career that we believe, and a lot of people believe, was unjustly cut short. I still don't think a team signs him. With Colin on the other side now, he has been the figurehead of this. I mean, Colin Kaepernick has been the face of this movement for the longest times, and I think someone NFL teams are legitimately afraid of based on everything else that we've said and all this. So I don't know if he has a place on any team going forward because of that.
What you have are really charged opinions. It's either pro-Colin or it's either anti-Colin based on whatever you're displacing onto it. We don't have any information.
Golick and Wingo, weekdays at 6 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio. The Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Big store pricing with local service. Online at ctf.nu.
Well, it's obvious Miami realized they needed to flip their roster, but it's pretty crazy. They've now added a former number 1 overall recruit that was out at UCLA, and Jalen Phillips. You remember him?
I remember the name briefly, but when you go West Coast, it's just like
you're off of life. That's it. Wash my hands of you, buddy. You took it to the West Coast, and moreover, you took it to UCLA, where they don't even really play football. So, best of luck to you.
I feel like the last big non-quarterback that went to the West Coast that I can remember is Aguilar, who's now on the Eagles, because we were very close to getting Nelson Aguilar. Yeah.
So Miami now has 6 of the nation's quote-unquote top 22 transfers. That's the way it's looking.
Leonard Williams too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that either. So it's really amazing. Matt Baker writes, the Miami Hurricanes will open under Manny Diaz the era against in college football against Florida and Orlando. 10% of their scholarship players will be transfers just from this offseason. And that's life in the transfer portal, I guess. It's a new deal. There it is. I was waiting. So Jalen Phillips said he's going there. Now, here's the deal. He had no impact in 2 seasons at UCLA. Useless. Didn't do anything. Outside linebacker / defensive end. But he was the number 1 recruit in the country in 2017. But here's what I would say, and I saw a lot of people celebrating this, and maybe it will work out, and who knows, but I'd go easy. He didn't make an impact at UCLA, who's not any good at football and could use good players. Secondly, he's also never been healthy. He was contemplating retirement due to medical issues a month ago.
So instead of retirement, he's taking it to Miami.
Right. So it is, they've got Bubba Bolden, KJ Osborne, who's a receiver, Tate Martell, who's a small quarterback who's afraid of competition, and then Jeff Thomas, who was a Cane, was good, but was a malcontent, took it on down the road, then came back once Rick said he was out. So you got him. That's actually a good thing for them.
That's a good get.
Yeah, he's a good player. And then, you got Lewis Headley, who is the crazy 50-year-old punter with tattoos.
Didn't Cager leave, though? Is he still available?
I don't know.
I like him as a red zone compliment to Mr. Terry.
So now you have 9 transfers this offseason alone for Manny Diaz. Only a few will be eligible. You have a grad transfer from Buffalo, and you have an offensive lineman named Tommy Kennedy from Butler who's eligible. Defensive lineman Chigozie Nuluka from UCLA. And they're still waiting to find out others, most notably, obviously, Tate Martell, who could compete for the starting job if he's available. So the transfer portal changing off seasons yet again. And we'll see if it works, I guess. I mean, they were a nightmare on the recruiting trail, finishing, depending on where you look, 28 or worse in recruiting rankings. So they had to obviously see an uptick or make an effort to improve that lot. And they have. I mean, surely some of those kids will work out. We don't know how many. And it's one of those things where it's the dawn of a new era. We don't really know with transfer portals and all that how to look at things until we see multiple examples of where it works or doesn't work. Now, we know certainly people can transfer and have success, but when you're now supplementing, in some cases, your recruiting classes by hitting hard the transfer portal and or grad transfers.
Well, I mean, there are high-profile cases in which it has worked. Yes, Russell Wilson being one.
Obviously.
Baker Mayfield, although that was unheralded in the beginning. Like the Russell Wilson one, people knew of him from NC State, and then at Wisconsin he was great again. Baker he was under the radar at Texas Tech and then emerged at Oklahoma. Jalen Hurts will be another big one. I think the quarterback transfer market will be an interesting storyline that I'm sure websites that do this kind of stuff can profit off of every year. It's like they took away the National Signing Day, like the feel of February.
Yeah, that was a big to-do, and then it didn't feel so big anymore, did it?
But now you get this like 24/7 on-call business of, well, who's going to enter their name in the transfer portal and what quarterbacks can go where after every single season.
It'd be nice when you need a quarterback, if you could get one. We could have used a name. Jackson perhaps would have been something to see happen. Instead, he's going to Maryland like everybody else that's not going to Miami.
Or here, it's like if they're choosing between us and Maryland these days.
That's all it is. That's what you got. That's why you got to go win games, so that's not an option. You can't have lesser tier programs like Miami, who are kind of middling also-rans in the world of college football, on par with Maryland. Slaying the dragon of the offseason. Can't have it. It's not good. Let's get it together, guys.
Go. Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
And a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite, the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. He's gone! Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
Just like football, when it comes to the court of law, you're going to need a solid defense. I'm Michael D. Blank, attorney with the Law Office of Jose Fernandez in Tallahassee. At the Law Office of Jose Fernandez, there is never an upfront fee, and if we don't recover, then you don't pay anything. Our team is dedicated to handling all types of accident, injury, negligence, malpractice, and wrongful death cases. If you're unable to come to us, we can come to you day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, for your free consultation today. The Law Office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid until you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. GRFinjury.com. Go Noles.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. Once again, all of you with stellar credit ratings, congratulations. And this message is not for you. All last year, I talked about our New For You program to assist good people with dings in their credit. And just last week, a friend of mine came into my office worried about his own credit rating. But thanks to our New For You program, you guessed it, he drove away in a brand new Nissan Altima. We are proud of the fact that we have helped hundreds of people that were previously limited shopping little used car lots where they overpaid, got huge finance charges, and had very few choices on cars to purchase. Some of those lots may actually hurt your credit more than they could ever help. So remember, credit score under 600? Come on in. Recent bankruptcy? Come on in. Recently divorced? Come on in. Think you have a financial problem we've never heard of? Come on in to Kraft Nissan. And come see the one dealer in Tallahassee that can really help you out. Come see the cars that everyone wants at the hottest dealer in town, Kraft Nissan. And remember, if you don't see the Kraft tag on your car, you paid too much, way too much. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Or visit us on the web at craftnissan.com.
You started a DIY project at home. Then you realize convenience isn't always easy. The why in DIY doesn't mean, why is this so hard? At ADT, we DIFY, do it for you. We customize and install a secure smart home that you control from the palm of your hand or the sound of your voice. Smart security, designed and installed just for you with ADT. Visit ADT.com/smart to learn more. License information available at ADT.com. ADT. Real protection.
At Township in College Town, for the table, by the people is not just lip service, it's their mantra. Tallahassee's largest beer hall offers drafts served in steins and a unique twist on upscale pub fare. Just walk up and order for the table and grab a seat by the people. Some you may not even know. If you're looking for a more intimate gathering, Township offers The Garden, a unique setting to Tallahassee complete with outdoor fireplace and a retractable awning. Oh, and let's not forget the 32 taps and private bar. Book it for your next party or company event. Township Tallahassee, 619 Woodward Avenue in College Town.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. Patriots owner Robert Kraft is now facing 2 charges of soliciting prostitution at a Jupiter, Florida massage parlor. Police say there is video of Kraft paying for sex acts inside that massage parlor. A spokesman for Kraft categorically denies that the Patriots owner engaged in any illegal activity. NFL owners are subject to the league's personal conduct policy and are held to a higher standard than players. After saying he might retire if the Patriots won the Super Bowl, safety Devin McCourty tells the Sports Spectrum podcast he'll be back for the upcoming season. McCourty has played all 9 of his NFL seasons with the Patriots, 8 of those 9 as a captain. The Lakers beat the Rockets last night as they try to mount a charge for a playoff spot. ESPN's Chiney Agwumike.
I think that the Lakers can definitely make the postseason. Now, the problem is it's not going to be easy. They'll need that type of focus that they had against the Rockets yesterday. They're 2.5 games back from the 8th position, right now sitting at the 10th position. But if you look at how hard they played defensively, that's a good sign. If you look at how well Brandon Ingram played, 27 or 29 points, somewhere in there, that's a good sign. If you look at how LeBron just straight up took over, those are all the right signs that the Lakers actually want to make the postseason.
Chiney Agwumike on Golic and Wingo. A Friday night NBA doubleheader on ESPN, tipping off at 7 Eastern tonight with the Spurs and the Raptors. That game will be followed by the Jazz and Thunder in Oklahoma City. Texas guard Kerwin Roach II is now indefinitely suspended for a violation of team rules. He's the leading scorer for the Longhorns, averaging 15 points a game.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
You know, I got to say, we talked about this some yesterday with the Machado deal. I knew this was coming. This has been talked about some this offseason, and I know that everybody's not ready to just turn the page just yet to Major League Baseball and focus in on the upcoming season, but they've had labor peace in Major League Baseball for 25 years between the players and the owners. And it ain't going to happen for very much longer because people are livid about this situation. And I think the thing of it is it's now happened for a couple of years. Now, 2 and 3 years, you're seeing guys not get signed, and there's a lot of money out there. But it's not just for the top 2 guys. There are 100. There are just under 100 still free agents available and quality players, guys that make teams better. They may not be named Manny Machado and Bryce Harper, but they're really good players that aren't getting signed. And so at this point, you've got a lot of frustration, and the players are not afraid right now, quote unquote. They want to burn the whole system down. And they are saying that this has to happen in order for there not to be a strike in the very near future. And it's consecutive winners that veteran players are saying that they believe the owners are colluding and that these deals aren't getting done. And again, the collective bargaining agreement doesn't expire until 2021. So we're having baseball. But the players believe that the issue at hand is that their earning power is being suppressed. And they believe that the luxury tax is a de facto salary cap, and that the reliance on analytics has led to wage suppression, and owners are disincentivizing and perhaps even ambivalent about winning, aren't going, they're not going to go out of their way to sign guys because they would rather just tank and start over in the draft. And all of these issues are coming to a head now in which players believe that they're being treated unfairly. And, I would say going into next year, they're going to have a real problem here.
Well, they, are already throwing barbs at Manfred. Tony Clark and Manfred can't seem to agree on much of anything. And I get some of the things that the players are angry about. The luxury tax is a de facto salary cap. Once the Yankees stopped, spending beyond because they didn't want the luxury tax bill, that tells you all you need to know. Because if the Yankees aren't going to do it, really nobody's
going to do it.
Maybe
Red
the Dodgers
Sox,
here and there, maybe. But, even then, that's just an indicator of where we are economically. And I think the hard part here is usually I'm a player's guy, but in the last 3 or 4 free agency cycles, and it's probably best to say starting 2 years ago and trailing a few years, because last year there was this course correction, right? The MLB owners just stonewalled the players in the 2018 free agency cycle. Man, players aren't worth what they're being paid. I'm sorry. Like a 3-starter isn't worth $15 to $17 million a year.
Well, again, you're worth whatever you can get somebody to pay you. But I understand.
But you know what I'm saying.
I do.
The teams are saying this is out of control. And I think the real interesting discussion when they actually meet at the table, if they're not yelling at each other, is are they going to talk about the TV dollars and how real they are, 20-year projection-wise? MLB has always been ahead of the curve with what it's doing in its digital enterprise. MLB TV existed before any other league had any sort of web source where you could watch games on demand like we did when we had to pay for them on cable. But still, that's not going to cover some of these RSN fees that are paid for throughout the country.
Yeah, and you and I have talked about that a lot.
And not to get too deep into the weeds, but it seems like nobody wants to buy these regional sports networks. There was thought to be an upcoming bidding war between Fox and ABC and CBS and, Disney, all that kind of stuff about, all right, we're going to spin off these Fox regional sports networks to the highest bidder. Nobody's really calling for them. So where is all this money coming from is the owner's perspective. And then also, if you're Gio Gonzalez, I'm not shelling out $18.5 million for you. I'm sorry, you're not worth that to me. And that's what these guys are being told.
Yeah, you're not very good. So, I know. They are being told that, and they don't like that. They don't like that. Well, above and beyond that, he's imminently hittable. But I would just say this. We know now that players are feeling increasingly comfortable in expressing the fact that there will be a strike. Usually that accompanies behind-the-scenes conversations that are even more over the top in which it's being organized. I would tell you that when you read Pat Neshek and others saying things like, right now there's going to be a strike, 100% guaranteed after 2021, I won't be around, I don't have a horse in the race, and I don't want to see a strike. But there's been a kind of handshake agreement where we're still going to value the older players and not just totally blank on them. And that's what's happening. So I think you're going to have to burn the whole system down and start with that. Owners will have a lot more to lose than us. I think the players have been talking about for the last couple of years, putting money aside, and I think we're going to be ready to fight. We're willing to go multiple years, and I don't know if the owners are willing to sacrifice. Well, baseball can't afford a multiple-year strike, but I would say this.
That's posturing right there.
That is posturing, and they're starting to set this all up. I get it, where you try to aim to win over the public, although I think that's a mistake because both sides lose whenever there is a stoppage of any kind. Nobody really feels comfortable about backing either side. Ultimately, they end up backing ownership, which is not also something I feel comfortable with.
I'm almost always on the player side, but in this one, I'm like, all right, don't you think the rate of acceleration of these salaries and annual values are going way, way, way too fast?
Well, here's the problem, Tom. Revenues topped $10 billion in 2018 in Major League Baseball, and the average salaries ended up staying flat for each of the last 2 years.
But I think the owners are trying to catch back up. I think it outpaced what they had expected to pay out to the players. And so they're saying, whoa.
Here's the thing. I'm in agreement with you that I'm not giving anybody a 10-year, $25 million a year type of salary. I'm not giving Bryce Harper and Manny Machado $300 to $500 million because I believe those kinds of players, again, are too easily neutralized. You come up 4 times in a game. We talked about it yesterday. I mean, if you told LeBron James you could only take 10 shots a game, it wouldn't be worth it, right? So the money, I'm never for those kinds of deals because I don't think any one player in that sport is really worth it.
Yeah, I don't think it's collusion.
That's me.
I agree with you, but I think analytics do too. You know, WAR, it's like if you're a 4 WAR, you're a great player, right? If you're like a 6 WAR, you're an outstanding 6. You know, if LeBron is Peyton Manning affects more than 6 games as a quarterback in a 16-game league.
Of course,
so
yes.
I don't think it's collusion. I think analytics are saying, hey, man, even the best in the game are marginally better than the average player. So should they be getting 3 times as much money?
Where it gets weird is that you do have an inordinate number of 28, 29, 30-year-old, solid, really good players that just linger out there and go unsigned right now each of the last 2 off seasons. And I think people,
except if you're the Mets, we'll just sign you 34 years old for 2 years and $35 million. Here you go.
People find all of this very sobering, that these veteran players who aren't named Bryce Harper or Manny Machado, they're not getting paid either. Those two are going to get their money, but the average guy who makes up he's a solid player, he's a plus player. Like I said, there was 100 of them just sitting out there right now. They're all quite concerned.
A lot of dudes can work walks, and a lot of dudes can hit 20 home runs if all they have to do is hit 230 for you to be happy with them. That's the thing. Like to me, I feel like actually hitting the baseball for average, that's a lot harder. There's only a few elite guys that can do that, but a lot of dudes can walk. A lot of dudes can have plate discipline if that's what the game is about. So your value is not as scarce as it was now that analytics are saying you should play the game this way.
Right. The game it's in need of some tweaks, and I would like them to start on this, whether you're talking about financial structure, salaries, long-term contracts, evaluating players, free agency, all of that, but also, again, the 3 true outcomes that we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
The game is in need of tweaks on and off the field. You've got through 2021 to get this done. I hope that the outward expression of anger from the players now, and less people are talking behind the scenes. More and more they're talking in front of a mic. They're not afraid to now say these things, that this is the spark that gets the owners and the players talking so that we avoid this, because it is absolutely disastrous for a game that does not connect to millennials. Millennials don't like baseball because their attention spans are short, period. And so there's not enough action for them, and they're bored by it.
Well, and I think, traditionalists of the game, too, who are fans, even will admit that it wasn't this slow when I grew up watching the game. It wasn't this slow when I fell in love with the game.
Yeah, I mean, I still love it. I don't find myself bored, but I'm 47. They're not after me.
Sure, they're not, but you know what I'm saying? Like 3 true outcomes, the ball's not in play. I mean, you note that. It's not as exciting as it used to be.
Well, and I would like to see there be a level of concern, maybe not shame the way there once was, but certainly concern for a guy who strikes out prolifically. I mean, I'd like to see that not rewarded. I mean, if if you can't put the ball in play, I think there should be repercussions for that financially and otherwise.
Right.
I mean, it's not good for the game.
It would be like if everybody was Iverson and Carmelo Anthony.
Right.
You're all volume scorers.
Yeah, it's just nuts.
But doesn't matter. The analytics say keep shooting.
It just drives you nuts to watch that. So I also think baseball suffers a little bit to some degree when it comes to competitive integrity, and that is something that I'm very concerned about and have been for a long time. I am in all sports. We've talked some about this with football, college football.
Yeah.
Again, it's never a good idea to have, I don't know, in some cases over 100 teams, other cases 30 teams competing in your sport, and the reality is 5 have a chance, 3 have a chance. That's not good. Now, baseball has been good about the fact that the Royals have won a title recently, and we've seen the Astros and others rise up and win titles. That's a good thing, but the consistent level of elite play in which a team can sustain 90-win type seasons for long periods of time, that doesn't belong to small market teams, period. You got a chance to make a run, and you better make it work. Now look at where the Royals are now. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was over. They cashed it in. Good for them.
Of course they did.
But it's over, right? Sorry. But it's over with now. But
4 leads with 4 outs or fewer to get, and won one of them.
That ball was still traveling. That one to center.
The Alex Gordon.
That one was still one of the.
That was the one they earned. The other 2 we blew.
That one was hit in a way.
That was the Harvey fiasco, and then Daniel Murphy effing it up at second base.
Good old Harvey.
That was the end of his career. That was literally the end of his career.
Yeah. But
awesome.
I would also say that they need to. That has to be worked out. Maybe a little bit easier. I don't know how. You had too many teams losing 98 to 100 games last year. We were talking about that the other day too.
That's 3 months of losing for a fan.
That ain't good.
Wake up for 3 months, you're losing every day.
Yeah, that's not a lot of fun. My team won, but they were never in it. They went 82 and 79. They won, but they didn't do them any good. Like, just staring at multiple teams above us. Like, okay. And that's disheartening. I mean, that's all you can do. I mean, that's the way it works.
The funny thing is, if pitchers had more longevity, I wouldn't argue about giving them the world. But they all tear the rotator cuff.
They all get hurt.
A hitter, it's like, okay, you're going to hit me 12 more home runs over 162. How much more am I supposed to pay in millions for those 12 home runs? Like, is it worth $2 million a home run?
No,
$1.5 million a home run?
I'm not disagreeing with you. I marvel at the idea of paying somebody $25 million, $30 million a year, especially, again, in a game in which I can pitch around you. You're just, I can neutralize you.
For me, I understand what you're saying. I get the idea of there's much more salary to go around because you're playing 162 games. Mm-hmm. So you have that many more live events, box office, and obviously you're not going against anybody for live TV in the summer. So if the AAF choose into early baseball ratings at all, that should be interesting. Probably not because they're just sticking to CBS Sports Network.
They also may not be around. I mean, their major investors have kind of pulled out. That's not a good thing.
The guy from the Carolina Hurricanes committed, I think it was like $200 million to it. But yeah, they didn't make payroll the first time around.
That's
according to a glitch in the system there.
That's not the story you want surrounding your league after a week or two of play. Can't pay anybody.
Wait a minute. What about my insurance, though? You guys still got my insurance covered, right?
What's going on here? It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
And the admission and parking is free. You have to be up in 5 hours. 2 hours. 6 minutes, and you haven't slept a wink. ZzzQuil Pure Z's is a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake with no next-day grogginess. So tonight, try new ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vicks ZzzQuil.
Did you see that game last night?
Ooh, instant classic.
I can't believe how much Burton was sweating in the ninth. You could see each bead dripping off his brow.
I didn't see him sweating.
My girlfriend was blown away by his clear skin. She kept going on and on about what his daily regime is. It was pretty impressive. I'm sure you noticed that.
Yeah, I didn't notice his smooth skin.
Either you don't have a girlfriend or you don't have DirecTV.
I don't have either, actually.
Wow. Really?
Live sports that aren't in 4K are just kinda TV. Only DirecTV has the most live sports in 4K. Don't just kinda TV, DirecTV. Switch from Dish and get a $100 reward card. Limited 4K programming available. Requires entertainment package or higher and compatible equipment. Reward card with 24-month agreement. Maintain service and redeem within 75 days. Card within 4 weeks. Ends 3/31/2019. Select markets only. Requires 2-room setup. Minimum $47 per month for 12 months after discount. Price is higher in second year. New residential customers only. Equipment lease, activation, installation, early termination, equipment non-return, and other charges and restrictions apply.
Escúchame, it is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Cleveland Browns sent out a photo of Baker Mayfield dancing, and they did so on Twitter with the note, "Your QB could never." And Arian Foster corrected it with an asterisk and say, "Would never. My QB would never." Baker Mayfield couldn't let that alone, so he said, "I respected you before this. I get it, dog. You're too cool to show any personality. Everybody's different, though. No need to speak on it." I am here for Baker Mayfield spending the rest of his life fighting with everyone who disparages him and changing the entire personality of the quarterback position. He doesn't let Arian Foster get away with 2 words and an asterisk.
This is your guy, man. You've been waiting for this guy for a long time.
Respected you before this. He took all the respect away.
The Dan Le Batard Show, weekdays at 10 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio. You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
The weekend, a busy one, a lot to take in. Let's take a look at it. Let's do a little more watching, less washing from our friends around there at Wash Around the Clock. Cue it up.
Jeff, what's your plan with all of this laundry?
Not my job.
Excuse me, get off the couch already.
Wash Around the Clock's got it. More watching, less washing.
Ooh. Best husband ever.
More watching, less washing. Wash Around the Clock actually came to the studios today to pick up laundry. Always appreciate that. That's what you can do. It's incredibly convenient. And that's the thing, right? It's just about time. None of us have a lot of it these days. And if you're like me, a parent, you're married, you got kids, you got a lot going on in your life in addition to your everyday work schedule. So anything you can do to save some time and save some money in the interim, it's a good idea. Wash Around the Clock provides that for you. If you don't know, go check them out. Go to TallahasseeLaundry.com and read about Easy Laundry. It's a pickup and delivery service. It's at your home or your office. It's very convenient. They give you these 2 giant red bags. They hold an awful lot. And then you fill those suckers up with all the laundry that you need done. They take it away. Pick it up at a scheduled time. Bring it back to you a couple days later. Neatly folded and or hung up. You're all set to go. It's Easy Laundry from our friends at Wash Around the Clock. I use it. Tom uses it. And so do so many others. Plus, it's locally owned and operated, which is always a good thing. Wash Around the Clock. All right, so I think we start with the obvious here, right? Florida State basketball at the Dean Smith Center. You know, I was flipping around last night. North Carolina and Duke from 1992, 93 was on. was flipping around. They were showing.
We were pretty good in this conference in those days.
We were really good, and it was pretty cool to watch and just have reminders. But it's the other thing, too, when you looked out on the floor at just how much time has passed, but how many good players were on those two teams. It's ridiculous because you were looking out going pro career. Like they were great college players, 10-time All-Star, 8-time All-Star in the NBA. You know, just cool stuff like that. Anyhow, Florida State will take on North Carolina tomorrow. They're in Chapel Hill, 3:45. So that's first things first. You want to add to the ledger, Tom? What else are you going to be looking at?
Well, first of all, to have some fun with this in the ACC slate tomorrow, which game would you, if you had to watch one and pick between these two, which one would you watch? Boston College and Clemson. That's a noon start.
Nope.
And Georgia Tech, Miami. If
Nope.
you had to watch one, which one would you watch?
Boston College, Clemson, because there's an outside chance that Clemson can make the NCAA tournament, and they need that win.
Boy, if BC got it, they would be right pulling up with Clemson there with 5 wins in the ACC. In truth, though, the ACC slate tomorrow, the good games start at noon, and it's Virginia at Louisville. This is one of Louisville's 2 matchups with Virginia as we look at the top 4 finish potentially in the ACC. So we're looking at Louisville losing. We're rooting for Virginia in both of these matchups. That is at the Yum Center at noon, and then 6 o'clock tomorrow night is Duke at Syracuse. Interesting. Duke will have time to prepare without Zion. No big deal now that they can install a game plan for the 2-3. But Syracuse, there's a lot going on there. They just picked up a big win over Louisville earlier in the week, and then Jim Boeheim
unfortunately killed somebody.
And so where's his head going to be at in terms of practice? And, I mean, seriously, his assistant coaches have to be running the operation this week, one would think, right?
A lot of times people will use work as escapism and a way to take their mind off the troubles that are happening behind the scenes in their life. And, I get that. Some people throw themselves into work after tragedy or after something that is emotionally draining because it is an escape. But I know I joked a little bit yesterday, and in all seriousness, that's awful. I feel so bad for that guy. I mean, can you imagine? And there are people listening, and who have gone through or been a part of incidents in which somebody, unfortunately, purely by accident, somebody was killed. And I can't imagine the weight. I mean, that's going to stay with him forever, obviously, and it was unintentional. It is an accident. No drugs or alcohol involved. It's just a tragic accident. I don't know how you deal with that. Obviously, people do and have and moved on in their lives. It's got to be very, very difficult. But this is so soon afterwards. I don't think I could coach a game. I don't know. Maybe it would be the escapism you needed. Maybe it would be a couple hours from outside of your or the weight of those emotions and feelings in your mind, and maybe it's what he needs. I don't know, but I think it would be very difficult.
Well, it's also, and this is not to be trite with a very serious situation, but it's a really big game. I mean, it's a huge game for Syracuse if they want to finish in position for a double bye. Because they have 3 big games left. They're playing Duke, North Carolina, and Virginia before the season is out. And one would think if you're a Syracuse fan and one of those players who picked up the big win over Louisville, now you're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, getting into the tournament, bettering your seeding in the ACC tournament. So at every layer tomorrow, there's a big ACC basketball game. Obviously, we are the mid-afternoon feature national game. But
you're damn right we are, Tom.
Duke and Syracuse is on ESPN, so it's on cable while we are on broadcast, sir.
This may surprise you, but I'll bring it up because I would imagine that some people would want to check it out. It's worthy of your time. There's a couple of things you could go. First of all, to the Invitational, the Seminole Invitational this weekend at Golden Eagle. You can take it on down the road and watch.
I love that event, and I'm going to miss it, and I hate it.
Yeah, so that's something there. Florida State Golf. It's not on television, but you can go there in person. It's here in town.
It's unbelievable what the bad kids, quote unquote, and they're not, but by that curve,
the fourth guy on the team.
The lesser kids from the lesser schools, they still do things and manipulate the golf ball in a way that's insane.
I keep thinking back to yesterday and Rory McIlroy over there at the WGC event in Mexico, hitting a iron over 300 yards. Okay. And shaping it. That's what we're going to do. A little fade. A little 304-yard fade.
A little controlled 304.
Yeah, that's something. The ACC network, Tom, which is going to be hugely popular and profitable, currently just online, if you will, is, of course, featuring the ACC Indoor Championships in track and field, and coverage, which began yesterday, you can watch on Saturday at 1 o'clock for the meet's conclusion if you wanted to watch your Noles.
I also have something for you, sir. This is made for you. So it already started today.
Is this about serial killers?
No. Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
This is much more I'm a positive guy. Yeah. Starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow, you can watch a replay of A's, Mariners, spring training baseball on MLB Network.
I'm not going to watch a replay of a spring training game.
It's fine, but you can put it on in the morning when you make a breakfast for the kids.
Well,
you get the sounds of baseball.
I'll be at a baseball game in the morning. I'll be at my son's baseball game.
At 1 p.m., you got Yankees, Red Sox, spring
live?
training.
That's live? Okay.
4 p.m. live, Indians, Reds.
Oh, my
8
man.
p.m. live,
Yeah.
Astros, Nationals. 11 p.m., Giants, Angels.
There we go.
You've got spring training
All
baseball,
day.
MLB Network all weekend, and now all month long upcoming.
Forget about it. Now that I will do. And that's more watching, less washing. Wash around the clock. Go to Easy Laundry or go to TallahasseeLaundry.com. That's easy to remember, TallahasseeLaundry.com. And then you'll see right there on the webpage, the Easy Laundry. You can click it. You can read more about it. It is incredibly convenient. And, again, they do a fantastic job, multiple locations. But if you're having your stuff picked up, it doesn't matter. It's saving you time. Go to TallahasseeLaundry.com. Learn more about Easy Laundry. Come back. Final hour. Forthcoming. Stay with.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
All of your wedding events, engagement parties, bridal brunches, rehearsals, even wedding receptions. No new rock on the finger? Hey, doesn't matter. Whatever the event, they've got you covered. For more details, email matt@madisonsocial.com. Again, that's matt@madisonsocial.com.
Hendrick. Want to know what power feels like? Come get behind the wheel of an all-new, completely redesigned 2019 Silverado 1500 from Dale Earnhardt Jr. Chevy. So hurry in to shop our huge selection, over 100 in stock, at Tallahassee's Chevy Truck Headquarters, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Chevy on West Tennessee or DaleJrChevy.com. Find new roads.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. Chevrolet, Tallahassee's hometown Chevy dealer.
And now, a quick comparison from Grasshopper. When a client calls, what do you want them to hear? Your personal voicemail?
Hey, you've reached Greg's cell phone. I'm away right now, obviously. Leave a message and maybe I'll get back to you.
Or something a little more buttoned up, courtesy of Grasshopper.
Thanks for calling Green Landscaping. To make an appointment, dial 1. For billing, dial 2. To speak with Greg Smith, dial 3.
There's no contest. Put your best voice forward with Grasshopper, the virtual phone system for small business. Try it free at grasshopper.com.
What's up, Eddie?
What's up, Jeff?
You know, buddy, that I like archaeology, right?
Yeah. I'm quite an anarchist myself.
Right. Well, anyhow, do you know what they find the world over when they excavate? You know the item they find the most of?
I don't know, rocks?
Freaking bowls.
Bowls?
Bowls everywhere. In Rome proper, right? Bowls upon bowls upon bowls.
That's very interesting.
What's the high school over in Jacksonville, the one with all the good football players?
Bowls?
Right.
What are you getting at here, Jeff?
Mo used what to cut his hair?
I don't know, Jeff. What is a bowl?
Boom. A bowl indeed.
Hey, that gives me an idea.
Really?
We should have bowls here at Gordo's. We can do all kinds of bowls. We can do chicken bowls, fish bowls. We can do steak bowls, pork bowls, veggie bowls. Brilliant. I'm a genius. Jeff? Hey, Jeff.
Driving every day from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. Patriots owner Robert Kraft is now facing 2 charges of soliciting prostitution at a Jupiter, Florida massage parlor. Police say there is video of Kraft paying for sex acts inside that massage parlor. A spokesman for Kraft categorically denies that the Patriots owner engaged in any illegal activity. NFL owners are subject to the league's personal conduct policy and are held to a higher standard than players. After saying he might retire if the Patriots won the Super Bowl, safety Devin McCourty tells the Sports Spectrum podcast he'll be back for the upcoming season. McCourty has played all 9 of his NFL seasons with the Patriots, 8 of those 9 as a captain. The Lakers beat the Rockets last night as they try to mount a charge for a playoff spot. ESPN's Chiney Agwumike.
I think that the Lakers can definitely make the postseason. Now, the problem is it's not going to be easy. They'll need that type of focus that they had against the Rockets yesterday. They're 2.5 games back from the 8th position, right now sitting at the 10th position. But if you look at how hard they played defensively, that's a good sign. If you look at how well Brandon Ingram played, 27 or 29 points, somewhere in there, that's a good sign. If you look at how LeBron just straight up took over, those are all the right signs that the Lakers actually want to make the postseason.
Chiney Agwumike on Golic and Wingo. A Friday night NBA doubleheader on ESPN, tipping off at 7 Eastern tonight with the Spurs and the Raptors. That game will be followed by the Jazz and Thunder in Oklahoma City. Texas guard Kerwin Roach II is now indefinitely suspended for a violation of team rules. He's the leading scorer for the Longhorns, averaging 15 points a game.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Quarter Pocket Bar and Grill. Quarter Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachie Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show, at least for this week. Thanks for tuning to it. A fine Libations Friday, loosey-goosey edition of the program to you and yours. All right. Hey, man, you would think that that I would know this. I haven't even double-checked who the Noles have this weekend, Tom, in a little diamond action. We know.
Is it like Youngstown? I know that they moved the Sunday game up. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, the schedule, doubleheader, I guess they're moving.
Yeah, on Saturday.
We got inclement weather, I suppose, making its way to Tallahassee. Isn't that always the case?
Youngstown State. That's correct.
Very proud of you. I had no idea. I have the internet. I could have certainly looked, but I just figured I would sound clueless to start the hour.
It is a single admission doubleheader on Saturday, I read, from Florida State, and it's 1 p.m., 5 p.m. Those are the splits.
So, always fun to make your way over to Mike Martin Field and Dick Howser Stadium to catch some baseball. I might do that. My son has baseball tomorrow. Got a little scrimmage action. First real game on Monday.
Yeah, a little late in the game now to drive over there since this is that early season 4 p.m. first pitch territory, of course.
This is the time where, and the only time, truly, that I miss our old residents.
Yep.
Of course, Fridays. Look at that. What a shame. First pitch is at 4. Have a good one, everybody.
Right, which means that you had to be out by 3:40 for a 3:45 p.m. First
pre-game show.
On deck show.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I remember those days.
I do too, Tom.
Oh, those were awesome.
I remember them coming in and thinking, all right, well, a little 30-minute show action. Yeah, what do you want me to do? The game's on.
Yeah.
I got to go.
Time to roll off to Hauser.
Yeah.
Maybe have a tall boy in the parking lot before you head in.
Could happen.
They didn't sell beer over there in those days.
No, you had to sit out there and get your fill before walking in, and then that was kind of, I can remember, oh, my goodness, yeah, early 90s doing exactly that. Next thing you know, I think they're in the 4th inning. We should go in.
That'll happen.
That can happen.
At the Oaks,
You're
that'll
having a good
happen,
time,
especially. So next Friday, March 1st, is the first 6 p.m. game of the season, on Friday nights.
So as the specifics begin to roll in, and obviously Florida State, North Carolina on the mind, and I'll get to it. We've got Hamilton audio for you, plus some thoughts on that game momentarily. But I think it's a little bit too much fun to ignore the fact that we got our Bob Kraft situation going on here in South Florida. I've been to Jupiter, Tom. You been to Jupiter?
Driven by it. I know you stopped there, obviously, for spring training for the 2 franchises that are in the same complex, the Cardinals and the Marlins.
Yeah, many times. It appears Robert Kraft likes Jupiter as well. He made his way down there and has since been charged with soliciting prostitution. A little prostitution action, Tom. It was a months-long investigation and sting. This is going to make you laugh. Okay, this is going to make you laugh, right? For obvious reasons, one ought not solicit prostitution. For obvious reasons, okay? There are those things, okay? But now, if that wasn't the only reason.
Yeah, right, yeah.
It is for this reason that I especially would not do so. Now, the more obvious one, we don't have to. I mean, listen, it's low-hanging fruit. It's pretty obvious why it's not a good thing, okay? And you shouldn't do it. And I wouldn't. Plus, it's nasty. But that said, even if you were okay with that other moral part of it, right? Like you just went, oh, you know what? I'm not worried about it. I don't care. I'll pay for my sex. If that's who you were, if that's the kind of person you are, all right? Maybe that's your thing. I don't know. I'm not moralizing here, okay? That's you. You do you. Or that prostitute.
I'm so unabashed I'll use a credit card.
Yeah, pay with a check. So here you go. All right? That happens. Whatever. I'm not even talking about that because it's just too easy. This very reason is another reason that even if you could ignore all of that.
The Greg Anthony reason?
Yeah, man, come on. What are we doing? It's out there. You can never undo it. There's no putting the genie back in the bottle, my man. That's the headline. What are you doing? He's at the spa. He's at the... I told you, how many years ago, look, it's not great insight, but it just needed to be said. I brought it up before, and I told you about this, that every time I see something that says massage, a massage parlor, like a legitimate business, there are people who do this. Mm-hmm. Therapeutic reasons. There are benefits to this that don't involve.
Myofascial, man, that stuff.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Right. Myofascial, that's correct. So there are elements of that are on the up and up, that people, professional athletes and others, utilize to get better performances out of their body. I got it.
And shorten the recovery time, yes.
That is correct. But that's not what I think about anytime I ever pass a massage parlor.
Especially if you're on I-75 and it says truck parking.
Right. And I told you, I said, hey, listen, on this show, I'm an open book. I like to kind of give you a little insight into the way I think, and sometimes it's not always politically correct. Sometimes it could be downright borderline, right? And I told you about the stuff that I said, hey, listen, I'm not stereotyping. I'm not saying, but if it's a certain kind of massage parlor, I instantly go, okay, what are we doing here, right? Because there have been an inordinate number of incidents.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, even locally. There was that run.
All over the place. Yeah. Yes. So when I saw that my man was, quote unquote, at the spa, I went, okay, now I know what's going on here. Now, I will give him credit for this. If you're, I don't know how to say it, I guess. If Bob Kraft is rolling up in his $200,000 Ferrari or something and going to a certain part of town to talk to the ladies about services rendered and how much that would cost, you would yell, well, my God, Bob. I mean, you're crying out to get caught. Look at you. You're Bob Kraft. You're a billionaire, literally, and you're driving that car. You deserved it. So Bob gets a little credit at least for saying, I'm gonna go have a spa day. I'm gonna take it to the spa.
Right, yeah.
Now there's which spa are you going to, Bob? Well, there's one down in Jupiter that I especially I wonder if his friends were, oh, right. Okay, Bob.
So
enjoy Jupiter.
So this reminds me of one of the funniest little bits on Arrested Development, and there are 150 of them?
Yes.
So kids, you radio down for 30 seconds. So Henry Winkler, the Fonz, plays the attorney, the clueless attorney, and he pulls up in a red light district, and there's a lady of the night who leans in the window And he says, "Are you one of those men who confuses people and dresses up like a woman?" And the lady of the night says, "No, I'm all woman, baby." And then he shrugs and then hits the gas, and because apparently that was the wrong answer. And so anytime I hear about something like this, I think of Henry Winkler in Arrested Development.
Doesn't that crack you up?
Yeah. Are you one of those people who confuses people? No.
Did I fail this week? I guess I did yesterday. Fail to mention that George Campbell is transferring to Penn State. I should have brought.
Oh, he was gone. I mean, that was
that was already known.
Yeah.
But I didn't talk about it this week because George Campbell's got to be 45 years old. I mean, how long are you going to play college football, young man? I mean, good Lord.
Joe Louis was 127 years
Doesn't
old.
it feel that way? Shouldn't that be the talking point? I wish him well. Good luck, son.
When he's open, if he's healthy, when he's open, I hope he catches the ball and scores a touchdown. And that's not a dig. Like, I hope he does. I hope he has that moment because the talent was always there.
Kinda. We thought it was, but Jimbo was wrong about him. He wasn't nearly as good as Jimbo would have told you he was.
Man, but I think we ruined so many guys in between the ears. Their confidence was shot.
Well, you remember a beautifully thrown ball right into his hands that he dropped for a touchdown. Any number of.
I think when you're being beaten down every day in practice by that man, and if you have like average hands, it turns them into below average hands.
They're bricks.
Because now you're
just
scared.
Bricks. They're hooves.
You've got PTSD and you're running a 9.
You button hook me. I got no hands. I got no dukes. Jeff Cameron Show 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Floor, ceiling, and wall insulation, Energy Star reflective roofing, and even things like gas ranges, fire logs, and grills.
Wait, even on grills? I've been shopping around for a new gas grill. I had no idea, and with it getting even darker, I could use some outdoor lighting. It seems the City of Tallahassee's loan program may be the perfect solution.
Well, just be sure and invite me over the next time you grill.
Of course, that's what friends are for.
Take advantage of the City of Tallahassee's loan program and save energy, water, and money. Visit talgov.com to learn more. That's talgov.com for more information.
Want better gas mileage and a longer lasting engine? Change your oil every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. You know that sticker on your windshield? Don't look at it now. Wait until the next red light. Okay, check the number on your sticker. Then check your odometer. Is it time? There are 19 Tallahassee area Super Lube locations, which means there's one close to you right now. No appointments, and you're in and out in no time. You can do this today. Super Lube, for better gas mileage and a longer lasting engine.
How I love to Super Lube my car. Yes, sir.
Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram is the Jeep headquarters of America. We've purchased over 100 Jeep Renegades, and they've all arrived and are on the lot for immediate delivery. 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude with MSRP starting at $25,120. On sale now for $18,870. That's a savings of $6,250. A new Jeep starting at only $18,870. Those prices are unheard of and can only be found at your Jeep headquarters of America, Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. No other dealer can offer you this kind of savings. We buy in mass quantities and pass along the savings to you. 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude, starting at $18,870. Payments as low as $299 a month. On the corner of West Tennessee and Capitol Circle, where we're right on the corner and always right on the price. Check us out on the web at TallahasseeDCJ.com. All prices include rebates and incentives plus tax, title, and dealer fee. State number 18J605. Must finance through Chrysler Capital and qualify for all rebates and incentives.
And now, a quick comparison from Grasshopper. When a client calls, what do you want them to hear? Your personal voicemail?
Hey, you've reached Greg's cell phone. I'm away right now, obviously. Leave a message and maybe I'll get back to you.
Or something a little more buttoned up, courtesy of Grasshopper.
Thanks for calling Green Landscaping. To make an appointment, dial 1. For billing, dial 2. To speak with Greg Smith, dial 3.
There's no contest. Put your best voice forward with Grasshopper, the virtual phone system for small business. Try it free at grasshopper.com.
I give to you easy laundry service from my friends at Wash Around the Clock. Oh, buddy, this is a game changer. If you're like me, your life is hectic. Between work, school, your kids' sporting events and activities, well, it leaves you precious little time to kick back and take a load off. About the last thing you want to do is hours of laundry, but there it sits, staring at you, taunting. No more. That's right. More watching, less washing. Save hours of valuable time when you sign up not doing laundry with easy laundry service from Wash Around the Clock. Whether it's dry cleaning or just plain laundry, Wash Around the Clock's easy laundry service will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
With baseball season comes springtime weather in Tallahassee, and that means it's time to hang out at The Deck. That's right, The Deck Pizza Pub in downtown Tallahassee. Open in the old Po' Boys location off East College Avenue, The Deck Pizza Pub is your pregame headquarters before all the action on the court or on the diamond. Enjoy Tallahassee's best Neapolitan pizza, crafted inside an Italian-manufactured wood-fired oven that burns over 900 degrees. The Deck Pizza Pub also serves up signature cocktails and craft beer all day, and especially during their happy hour or Saturday brunch. From the folks who brought you Metro Deli, the Deck Pizza Pub is downtown Tallahassee's new favorite spot for pizza and refreshments. Order online today at deckpizzapub.com.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Almost every night.
Hey now.
When that moon gets a big
Libations Friday, loosey-goosey edition of the Jeff Cameron Show, but time now for a little less loosey and a little less goosey and more straightforward as we'll present to you the Vision Check.
Open your eyes.
My glasses! I can't see without my glasses!
My glasses! I can't be seen without my glasses!
That is absolutely horrendous!
I don't believe this call is accurate.
Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
Man, I can see!
You like vision?
It's time for the Vision Check.
I still laugh every time I think of and hear my man going, I don't believe that this call is accurate. It is the Vision Check brought to you by our friends at the law offices of Jose Fernandez. The law office of Jose Fernandez, they don't get paid until you do. 1-855-HOSE-305. Offices Tallahassee, Miami. Well, this is Leonard Hamilton this week talking about the pending North Carolina matchup. Warchant.com providing quality audio, so we ripped it, and you're going to hear it now.
I think we're making baby steps in this process. We still got some execution issues that we're not consistent with. Our defense is getting better. I think we've had some individual guys step up. I think Kamaji is finding his niche a little bit. Fiondu has been consistent. I think that obviously we're still trying to shake the rust off a field. And I think that he's given us effort everywhere on the court, great leadership. And Terrence has they both have made big plays when the game's on the line to make sure that we secure victories. Trent's been solid. But we need a little more consistency from everybody. I feel it's coming, and that's the best thing about this team. I still think we still got a higher ceiling. I think we got another gear we can get to. I think we got another plateau of execution that we can get to, and before I can say that, we are where we need to be.
Is this Carolina team typical Carolina team that they trot out on the court?
Well, they're loaded with All-Americans. They're very well coached. They have a culture and a system that they've been married to for over 40 years. They're consistent with their execution. You know what you're going to get, a team that's going to push the ball down the court as hard as they can. They're going to be very aggressive defensively. They're never going to stop. You got to stop them. They are probably one of the best executing teams that I've been involved with, and they're consistent with how they play. And you just got to stop them, and that's not always easy because they have very talented players playing those positions. It's almost like the system stays the same. They just keep reloading. They offer us a tremendous opportunity, and I'm sure that they're looking to put themselves in a position where they have a chance to win the regular season ACC. We're trying to elevate our status and try to move in and go as high as we can, be as high, ranked as high as we can in the league at the end of the season. So we both trying to move up, and I'm sure they're going to be at their very best, and I have a full understanding in order for us to be successful, we're going to have to be at our best.
So having guys like Terrence and Trent and Phil, guys who've seen so many big games and been in so many, I guess, tough spots, make it easier as a coach to have faith that they know how to handle success and handle these types of environments?
Well, see, and realistic, as from a coaching standpoint, you can't worry about the past. The past is not going to do anything about the present. You know, you hope that our players will understand how we need to play, but it's a new day, it's a new game, and every game takes on a different personality. So what we got to do is just make sure we go out and play lights out. You know, if a guy's not, from a coaching standpoint, if a guy's not on his game and he has a lot of experience, you know, I got to calculate that in there, but I need to try to find a way to get someone in who's going to do the job.
Coach, at this point in the season, you know, teams get better as the season progresses, but with only so many games left, what happens to the great teams at this time of the year? Like, what do they improve upon? The
great teams find a way to take it to another level. In terms of the execution, in terms of the effort, in terms of the camaraderie and the togetherness, they seem to get that magic level of focus that separates them from other teams. And hopefully that we will eventually get that.
So, I mean, there's no fear of, like, peaking too soon because you still haven't reached that level, right?
You know, I find it very interesting, this word peaking. You know, I mean, that's just, I think that's a philosophical sports used term that I don't know whether it exists. You just want to be the best you can be all the time. It doesn't happen that way. I think that we're getting better. I think we're improving, but I see a lot of room for improvement. The good thing about this team is that we're finding ways to win our share of the games while we're improving. You know, our consistent perimeter shooting has been kind of a moving target. And I know physically we can't get that much better or worse from game to game. Most of that's maturity. Most of that's the ability to have confidence and to execute and get those same high percentage shots and be mature enough and confident enough to knock them down. That takes a lot of experience. So right now, we're just taking it one game at a time. I'm not trying to be philosophical. I'm going into a game, and as a staff, we're going into games trying to, in our mind, put the pieces out there on the floor that we think that can give us the best chance to win. Sometimes it is some players more than others. For instance, in this particular game, we're going to need Polite because he's a really good on-the-ball defender. And they got one of the quickest, fastest point guards that I've ever seen, maybe one of the quickest North Carolina's ever had. In the Clemson game, we shortened the bench a little bit. He didn't get a chance to play as much. So in the Georgia Tech game, we went early with Vassell because we thought the type of game that he plays gave us the best chance to win there. So, and sometimes that's challenging for the players to handle when you late in the season. You don't really know exactly when you're going to be used and when not. But I think the culture of our team has been pretty good, and we've been able to absorb that, and that's probably the strongest point we have right now. These guys are playing to each other. They got great attitudes. They're rooting for one another. If someone's playing well, they will make the sacrifice, you know, to on their minutes that particular night to give this guy a chance to play up to his potential. So this team has a great culture now. But now we just got to become more consistent.
Is the North Carolina point guard, is he a score-first guy? He gets up the floor.
He's all in one. Yeah. I mean, he's a throwback to field forward, and he's also quick, fast, and create off the dribble. In other words, he's one of the fastest point guards I've ever seen, and then he has another gear that he goes into sometimes. Most of the time, those guys are good leaders and floor generals and decision makers, but he is outstanding perimeter jump shooter, and he creates off the dribble and makes tough shots. And so not only does he create for his teammates, he can create for himself. He has great range, and he's one of the top freshmen in the country without a doubt.
A lot of talent on that North Carolina team as Leonard discusses the matchup, but also I would like to note that there's a guy that's not satisfied, and it's pretty obvious that he doesn't believe, A, in peaking or that they're where they need to be. And I think that sort of steady hand, even keel approach that he's had really throughout his career, he's perfected it in his older age too. He's just very, very under control, the good with the bad, everything in between, steady as she goes. And I think that's been important for this team, especially one that got off to a real slow start, 1-4 in conference. You know, he had talked to me about being concerned with the health issues because that's not something you can coach up. If somebody's not healthy, they're not healthy. But once he saw them getting healthy and really being able to execute the way that they wanted to, he believed that this team would be an upper echelon ACC team. And it's also nice to hear, obviously, that he's not satisfied. And that probably is reflected by this team's ability to continue to play well and play better in various aspects of the game each night out. We're seeing a little something different each time. They're adding to the pieces, right? More and more. One night it's that they are better in transition. The next it's better in the half court. Then you'll talk about the defense. You'll talk about them shooting better on the road, beginning to get confidence on the road, the mentality shift, Tom, that he kept alluding to earlier this year when we weren't winning on the road. So all of that is just piling on to the other, and it's adding up to a good product right now.
I'm just impressed that you're able to hear Leonard say that Polite's going to play a lot tomorrow, and you're, moving on to different topics and allowing for the greater discussion.
Well, it's because of the reason that he gave. I mean, as long as we're not running our offense through him, I'll survive. I mean, here's the deal. Just don't give him the ball. Let him defend. But the problem is when you do that, and it's not unlike some other guys we've had over the years, is you're playing 4-on-5 on the other end of the floor. He is fairly useless at this juncture of his career offensively.
Good qualifier because we've seen guys develop here before.
Oh, without question. We've watched guys go from 2 points a game scoring to, 18 their senior year. It happens. They do a good job with that. It's one of the many aspects of this coaching staff that I enjoy. But I right now he's not there. It's just not part of his game. What is part of his game, and Leonard is right, of course he is, he's a very good on-the-ball defender. I think the balance there is trying to figure out exactly when you have to have that and you insert him in the game, can you withstand what's going to be going on the other end of the floor, and how long do you keep him out there? How long are you asking other guys to carry a greater burden?
Well, it's a cue, too, that we're going to come out, we're going to play man. If you want your on-the-ball defender out there, what does that mean? They're going to chase. He's going to chase, and he's going to let him. Leonard's going to let him get exhausted out there because they can run. Well, and they want to run up and down the court, but they can also run in the half court and they can slash like crazy. So.
Yeah, they're good. They're always good. They recruit exceptionally well. There's, as Leonard alluded to, a bunch of All-Americans out there. It's not surprising that it's going to be a hard game to win. It's at the same time something, though, that I'll say is that I like that you have options like this. You can play it the way people want to play it. You can match up. You can go big when you got to go big. You can be small when you need to go small. You can be athletic. You could run. You can play half court. These are options not a lot of teams have.
Well, I think this is something, obviously, we can hit on tomorrow for the pregame show, too. But this goes back to when you hear him answering about peaking, like you were just talking about a couple minutes ago. Remember when you had the preseason interview with Coach Ham, and you could tell that his key in terms of psychology was to keep the chip on the shoulder of these kids. It's like, we're not satisfied with the Elite Eight. There is unfinished business here, and there's more to accomplish. So if you think that because of last season you can rest on your laurels, I mean, he was trying to instill that over and over and over. And this sounds a little bit different because we have accomplished some things. You have to change the message at that point. But it's not all that different. He's staying on them. He is micromanaging them to make sure that they don't ever rest easy.
Yeah, man, you got me thinking about the wildest of things. I'm just sitting over here thinking, you're right. Elite Eight, and his talking point was that they were unsatisfied. Leonard has the mentality of a guy that truly believes and I don't think the fan base does, but truly believes they can win a national championship. Now, I don't know about whether or not this team can do that, but that's where he wants this program to be. He wants this to be a program not only of significance, but one that he thinks can win and eventually will win a national title. And you can scoff at that. You can say, I don't think it's ever going to happen at his age. You can say it's unlikely, they're not good enough, they don't have enough talent compared to the elite teams in the country. That's fine. You can say that, and I can understand even thinking it to some degree, but that's not his mentality. His mentality is, I'm coaching this program to get it to where we play for national titles. Now, again, a tournament is a tournament, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing.
There's no Villanova out there this year. This is a gettable year compared to last season. You know, no matter what we did against Michigan, whoever got there to the final was going to get blown out by that Villanova team. That was such an impressive run, but it mirrored what they were, which was dominant for much of the season.
I almost feel like you should play the Martin clip where you're talking about don't play games, Mary Beth. Because you get people thinking about national championship.
Okay, but you got to be comfortable with the fact that when you have puncher's chance category in the NCAA tournament,
I agree with you.
We have a puncher's chance to win the national championship. Yes, we do. We're right there with Purdue, LSU, and
we
Louisville.
were a possession away from going to the Final Four last year. I mean, it's, Come back, wrap it up. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Owners are subject to the league's personal conduct policy and are held to a higher standard than players. After saying he might retire if the Patriots won the Super Bowl, safety Devin McCourty tells the Sports Spectrum podcast he'll be back for the upcoming season. McCourty has played all 9 of his NFL seasons with the Patriots, 8 of those 9 as a captain. The Lakers beat the Rockets last night as they try to mount a charge for a playoff spot. ESPN's Chiney Agwumike.
I think that the Lakers can definitely make the postseason. Now, the problem is it's not going to be easy. They'll need that type of focus that they had against the Rockets yesterday. They're 2.5 games back from the 8th position, right now sitting at the 10th position. But if you look at how hard they played defensively, that's a good sign. If you look at how well Brandon Ingram played, 27 or 29 points, somewhere in there, that's a good sign. If you look at how LeBron just straight up took over, those are all the right signs that the Lakers actually want to make the postseason.
Chiney Agwumike on Golic and Wingo. A Friday night NBA doubleheader on ESPN, tipping off at 7 Eastern tonight with the Spurs and the Raptors. That game will be followed by the Jazz and Thunder in Oklahoma City. Texas guard Kerwin Roach II is now indefinitely suspended for a violation of team rules. He's the leading scorer for the Longhorns, averaging 15 points a game.
This is Chris Kraft with news that is sure to change the car buying landscape in North Florida. My brother Peter and I are now the proud new owners of the Infiniti dealership in Tallahassee, the all-new Kraft Infiniti. As Mercedes-Benz dealers for over 25 years early in our careers, we know how to sell and service Highline vehicles the right way. At Kraft Infiniti, our mission statement is simple: to provide our customers with a car buying experience that is unsurpassed in value, consideration for your time, and pure enjoyment. Finally, the Highline experience you deserve, and it's from the Kraft brothers. Infiniti is much more than a brand name. It's a lifestyle and it's a statement. And at Kraft Infiniti, Peter and I will go beyond your expectations in providing the best sales and service experience in Tallahassee. So come see us at the all-new Kraft Infiniti, beyond your expectations, and brought to you by the Kraft brothers. Kraft Infiniti, 3355 Capitol Circle Northeast, conveniently located between Home Depot and the I-10 flyover. Call 297-1488 or visit us on the web at craftinfinity.com.
Did you see that game last night?
Ooh, instant classic.
I can't believe how much Burton was sweating in the ninth. You could see each bead dripping off his brow.
I didn't see him sweating.
My girlfriend was blown away by his clear skin. She kept going on and on about what his daily regime is. It was pretty impressive. I'm sure you noticed that.
Yeah, I didn't notice his smooth skin.
Either you don't have a girlfriend or you don't have DirecTV.
I don't have either, actually.
Wow. Really?
Live sports that aren't in 4K are just kinda TV. Only DirecTV has the most live sports in 4K. Don't just kinda TV, DirecTV. Switch from Dish and get a $100 reward card. Limited 4K programming available. Requires entertainment package or higher. Compatible equipment. Reward card with 24-month agreement. Maintain service and redeem within 75 days. Card within 4 weeks. Ends 3/31/2019. Select markets only. Requires 2-room setup. Minimum $47 per month for 12 months after discount. Price is higher in second year. New residential customers only. Equipment lease, activation, installation, early termination, equipment non-return, and other charges and restrictions apply.
Hey, sports fans, who's on your Mount Rushmore of baseball? I'm going with Ruth, Cobb, Aaron, and Mantle. Football, I've got Bradshaw, Peyton, Montana, and Brady. In basketball, Jabbar, Jordan, Bird, and LeBron. This debate could go on and on, but when it comes to the Mount Rushmore of personal injury law in Tallahassee, the choice is clear. Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey. Recently voted Tallahassee's best law firm, so avoid the underdog and go with the favorite. Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey.
Don't miss the Tallahassee Regional Boat Show at the North Florida Fairgrounds, March 1st through March 3rd.
The region's biggest dealers will display a huge selection of boats, all priced with huge discounts.
The Tallahassee Regional Boat Show at the North Florida Fairgrounds, free admission and parking.
March 1st through 3rd.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Quarter Pocket Bar and Grill. Quarter Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachie Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Freight train, going so fast. Freight train.
All righty. The Elizabeth Cotten Classic, as sung by Annie DeFranco. She actually pulls it off.
Oh, yes, she does.
You ever pull up YouTube videos of Elizabeth Cotten?
No.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
I will. I mean, I got some spare time this weekend, so maybe I will.
Watch her play guitar. It's unlike anything you've ever seen.
Huh. So I actually used this song, and I noted it and credited it, not only the singer, but the fact that we use it for here. But this is the sign-off for the Lightning podcast this week. I mean, it was just so happy in Tampa. So
it is happy, and things are good. And you saw somebody had asked us for the song itself this week. I gave the link. I like
to put, some good music if they're winning. And so I'm at a.
Well, Tom, they're doing a lot of winning. That's kind of all they ever do.
So they're 3 games away if they don't lose in regulation from going undefeated in terms of not losing in regulation in a month for the second time this year. For a full month? That's just dumb. What they're doing is really dumb.
I watched them last night for much of the game. I did not make overtime.
It's a good game. Carter Hutton played out of his mind for Buffalo.
Yep, standing on his head.
Yeah, made a bunch of big saves.
But I went to sleep knowing we were going to win.
So, the one thing, and I read something this week that said, they might be a little bit paper tigers because our power play is so good and there aren't as many power plays in the playoffs and special teams, you get maybe a few chances here and there. 5-on-5 were a little weak, and Tyler Johnson, who is on the top line with 21 and 86, he's only got 8 points since New Year's. So we do need to tighten up 5-on-5 a little bit.
Well, that's fair. But, I mean, we're really looking for things now. I mean, when you're setting records.
Sure.
It's like, well, no, and I agree. It's funny to listen to Barry Melrose, who, of course, felt scorned, and he was a ridiculously poor coach for the singular season he was in Tampa.
Well, I didn't think Stamkos was any good.
Right. He had a lot of issues. The game had passed him by, clearly. And he's a much better announcer than he is coach. And I've liked his presence because he's been a champion for hockey forever.
Yeah, he's good for the game.
He's great for the game. But because that didn't work out in Tampa, he's always shortchanged the Lightning when talking about them. Any postseason run they are in, he He's not in love with them the way he's in love with Philadelphia or Boston or Pittsburgh or anybody not named the Lightning. It's always been that way since the fiasco.
Well, and it's, I think in large part, not just because of the fiasco, but our style has never been tough. And he harkens back to the days where
he loves the old
there's like
bruisers.
10 fights in the barns of the old years.
And I don't blame him for that. I liked it too.
But we're tougher this year.
Much tougher this year.
Much tougher. We will be quick to punch.
But and we were last night.
Yes, we were.
What I will say about that is this. I've prefaced my Barry Melrose comments by saying, though, that he does like this team this year. And he has said, look, it'll be a shock if they don't win the Stanley Cup. It won't be a story if they do, because right now we know they're the best team in hockey. It will be more of a story if they don't. And that's about as much praise he's going to give. It's about as far as he can go. But at this point, that is 100% accurate. I mean, this has been a runaway train for the entirety of the season. I mean, this is just pure domination that makes you nervous. It's weird to be that good. It reminds me of the undefeated Knowles 2013, where all that was left to do was make sure you win everything. Once we knew we were the best team in football, and by the way, we knew kind of early, and I remember the moment we came in here and talked about it.
Yeah.
I remember feeling comfortable enough to turn on the mic and say, we're the best team and he's the best player.
Right. Well, I think...
And he's going to win the Heisman, and this is... we're going to set records.
So you get past BC and the scare there, and you follow it up by pasting Maryland in the Corey Clark game that he'll never live down.
Right.
You felt in that moment that we're probably the best team in the country, and then the probably went to, oh, my God, we might be historically great after the Clemson trip in October.
Yeah. Beat them like a drum.
Oh,
and
man.
The thing is, though, when you watch that, you could just tell the level of dominance was different. It was different because I saw teams in our conference who feared playing the game against us. And I had never seen that before. Not even in 99, not 93. I don't remember. There were teams like the middling to lower tier teams on our schedule in the ACC. By midseason, they didn't want any part of that game. Our defense was that ferocious. It was that overwhelming.
Yeah.
You'd see people literally kind of go into a ball.
Yeah, I think with the hockey
NC
club,
State game that happened.
With the hockey club this year, what you're seeing, because you're gettable on a given night in hockey, not like football. Like you line up your NC State
absolutely.
in 2013.
No, you could be great, but yeah.
You got no prayer if you're NC State or Maryland that year. But you're seeing teams come in and they're trying to make a statement when they play you. They're trying to play the extra edge, nasty. Like they circle that game on the calendar. You can tell that they put in some install on offense and defense a week out. And there might have been a game or two in between. You could see that they care about the game against Tampa that much.
And I'm not trying to say that the Lightning have the same odds of going through and doing what Florida State did, because the sport is so different. And you see great teams that were clearly better than their opponent during the course of a long, drawn-out season fall in the postseason to that team. It happens all the time. You'll see a season record where somebody was dominant over a particular team, and then they lose to that team in a series.
Well, I mean, and if you just look at it this way, because overtime, everybody talks about the shootout in hockey and how it's just a skills competition. It's not representative of the game. Well, neither's overtime. It's 3-on-3.
Right.
And there have been plenty of games in the last month where we go to overtime. Well, what does that mean in the playoffs? It's a coin flip at that point. Who gets the double deflector goal? Like the ugly goal, you're like, oh my God, it's in. The game's over.
Yeah.
That's what the NHL playoffs is all about. Whereas the regular season, you're like, well, it's 3-on-3. We're way more skilled. Well, it's the shootout. We have one of the best goaltenders in the world. Probably going to win that. The playoffs in overtime is a completely different beast. So for me, like last night, so you didn't watch overtime.
No.
In terms of evaluating performance, it's over once regulation is over, because that other thing is completely different. And Buffalo did come to play. If they get goaltending like that, they could stretch a series with anybody 6 games.
Yeah, well, they lost. So that's the good news. And just keep on keeping on. And now we turn our attention to the matchup against North Carolina. And I guess I'll ask as we sign off, when you come back and we do the show on Monday, for those that don't know, you're going out of town this weekend. When you come back, are we sitting here talking about the surprise road win over the Heels and the potential to finish third in the ACC?
Well, I may tease that a little bit tomorrow, too, on the pregame show, Tallahassee Game Day Court Report. But, no, I'm going to pick against the Noles here. I have been consistently, and so I'm going to continue doing that. And this is not a crazy, like, Wake Forest road trip where I say, Wake's going to win this game. I'm not being crazy. I think North Carolina is now on a mission because they can see, number one in the conference. They can see regular season ACC title.
So the motivation will happen.
Yeah, well, I think they're going to come out firing. And the question is, do we answer and make some buckets early? The number one fear I have in this game is we'll have 3 or 4 point blank opportunities around the rim in transition. We just don't finish, and they do.
I think that North Carolina wins the game as well. But I maintain, as I have all week long and will continue to say this, that if you get me to the just under 10-minute mark in that second half with a 3-point game, 5-point game, something where you're in striking distance, I like our chances. I do. I think we're playing with such confidence right now that that moment won't be too big for them. They do feel like they're capable. They feel, hey, listen, I guarantee you, and we know this just from hearing some of these guys talk, they feel like they let the Duke game get away. They feel like they could beat and play with Duke, and they knew it, and they did, and it got away from them. Now, they're not. They would. This is not a team that would win a 4 out of 7 series against Duke. They're too skilled. But a one-off, Florida State feels like we can play with anybody on a given night with that depth, that length, that talent, and they're not wrong about that.
You know what's interesting? I think that would be a good 7-game series because of our experience and our depth, and Duke doesn't shoot the 3 particularly well. So I think Duke is a good matchup for us. Like, let's just say we got to an advanced place in the NCAA tournament and Duke was the opponent in an Elite 8 or something like that. I wouldn't be afraid of Duke. Now, North Carolina, I think, they're a little bit all wrong for us, baby, when it comes to the matchup. I think that.
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so. I don't think there's anybody that's all wrong for us. I don't.
Well, I don't think we get swept, but I feel better about our chances in a hypothetical best of 7 against Duke than I do North Carolina.
Okay, best of 7. Yeah. I'm talking about, you said the tournament. So if we got into a tournament and it's a one-game situation, I'm not afraid of anybody. Us against anybody in a singular game, I'm not afraid. Now, there are better teams than we are. Yeah. There are better teams out there, but I'm not afraid of anybody.
I'd be more nervous about North Carolina, but if we rebound the ball well tomorrow against that team that's always good at that, and we
really
did
good at it. Like, they're always crazy good at it.
But we've gotten a lot better in the last couple of weeks.
Our offensive rebounding is significant.
Well, and on the defensive glass, I think Kumaje's come a long way in the last couple of games. Last couple of weeks.
He's skying, quote unquote. He's going up for rebounds.
But you're seeing, and Clemson was a really good rebounding team, and that was an effort game for them because they had to have it, so the motivation was in the right place. And we
really
still
weren't all that competitive.
No, we were stifling there. So if we can compete on the glass and win more than our fair share tomorrow and maybe show North Carolina a thing or two, I'll revise my stance, but they're so good at it that I'm worried about that tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to the game. I think we're playing with house money. We're in a situation now because we've taken care of business and then some with these road wins. It's not just the streak. It's the fact that we're winning a lot of games on the road, and there was a time and place, and it's not all that long ago, where winning road games was really, really surprising. We were shocked to get it. I'm not hearkening back to when we lost 20-plus games on the road straight. I'm talking about even in the last couple of years, we won a lot of games at home. We didn't win a lot of games on the road. We won a couple. You're not out there winning a lot of road games. In this conference, it's hard to do, so you usually don't have a great road record unless you're a Duke or somebody like that. Right now, though, to see us play on the road, it has been revelatory. They have really enjoyed these moments on the road.
It's surprising within the construct of just this ACC slate because you got killed at Virginia Tech. You didn't play well at Pitt. I know the referees get involved, but you didn't play well there. You didn't play well and finish well against Boston College, so you thought, man, we're going to have to beat Georgia Tech and Wake on the road and then handle business at home. No, you get results that were shocking a month ago at Syracuse and at Clemson. You didn't think looking at the schedule, even at the beginning of February, that you were going to get those 2 wins, but you got them in resounding fashion. So I think it's still surprising if you're just looking at this year's schedule against these teams in the ACC.
Yeah, they haven't been flukish, that's for sure. I'll tell you what, when anybody watching us is like, well, that's not an accident. They're winning by a lot. And really controlling games. Think about the control of the game that you have on the road against Georgia Tech, against Syracuse, and against Clemson the other night. These are games that you're dominating.
Yeah.
The other teams are at home having to make huge runs to get back into a game.
Well, and I think the number one thing for us for confidence on the road was when Syracuse came all the way back.
And then we called timeout and went, no.
Well,
It's going to be the biggest timeout of the year. It will be if they go on a crazy run, it will be known as the biggest timeout of the year and the best response out of a timeout that we've really ever seen them have. That game had gotten to 1. At the time of the timeout, it's 3. He calls the timeout, and then I don't know what was said, but clearly at that moment they said, that's it. That's it. And they didn't panic. They were in control. They break down the extended defense, the pressure that Syracuse was attempting to put on, and then from there it's a layup festival, and they really have never looked back.
Right, and that's the thing is they never give up, and we saw that in the non-conference slate. Purdue was a knockdown, drag-out fight here in Tallahassee, and obviously the LSU game was a big-time war. Villanova was a tough game. We didn't win that one, but you could see we had that fight in us. But what it does for you on in a true road atmosphere with that much history up there, we hadn't won there in how many years, decades, right? And you can reach back in that situation, and now in the future you can look back and say, we did it, we faced adversity in Syracuse, and we were up huge, and we were blowing the game, and somehow in a true road atmosphere, we came back against all that adversity. The referees were against us in that moment as well, and you could do that in a neutral site in the NCAA tournament while also pulling from what your experiences were last year in the tournament against Xavier and
well, that's the experience. I mean, that's where everything
Gonzaga.
comes into play. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, we really. And by the way, it was pretty early in that Gonzaga game that you were like, oh, they got nothing for us. They're not athletic enough.
That game reminded me of Duke 2 seasons ago here in Tallahassee.
When we dominated the game, you're like,
you're at the under 8. You're like, man, they're not as good as we are.
Yeah, that was weird. That was kind of weird, right? I mean, remember we were sitting next to each other. Is it just me or Duke doesn't have better players?
It's like we look stifling at all fronts.
It did. It was crazy. That was a night. Well, I just like the position we're in because here's the deal. Every game matters. You wanna believe that, and you focus on it. Every game's an opportunity, certainly to learn something for the coaches and players and to prove something. But in truth, this game really doesn't matter for Florida State. It's not. I'd love to win it. I think it could buoy you. But if they lose it, nothing really changes because of what you have left on the schedule, what you're likely to do with those games, and where that allows you to finish. You're still going to have a chance to finish top 4 if you lose this game.
You are the prohibitive favorite for top 4 if you win tomorrow. And then also,
if you win tomorrow, you're going to finish in the top 4.
Seed line, if you win tomorrow, now you're looking 4-5 in between those two, depending upon how you finish the season.
If you win tomorrow, you could be a 3.
If you win out, or at least win your regular season and win a game in the ACC tournament.
Yeah, you really are looking at the possibility of a 3. I don't necessarily think this team is a 3, but then again, that's just that conditioned response to not being used to us having the kind of talent and skill and depth that we do. It's funny. I look around the country and I'll see Lenardi's projections, or I'll look at KenPom and I'll see the teams that would fit for that slate, that line, right? And I'll say, okay, so who's a 3 and who's a 4, and how do we compare? Or who's a 5 and how do we compare? And I'll go through there, and it kind of strikes you like, oh, well, they're not better than we are. Well, that team's not better than we are.
Yeah, when you see Purdue and LSU specifically this year.
We beat both those teams. Neither one of them better than we are. And then you'll go through all these, and you'll go, oh, okay, well, maybe we do. Maybe we do belong in this discussion at the very least. So, it's exciting. It's exciting. It's cool to be in a position to kind of, even if you played out the string and were average, to know you're cruising into the NCAA tournament. Cruising. I'm usually just, wrought with fear and loathing and worry. And
it looks like the absolute floor right now is 11 conference wins, which, 8 games ago, we would have thought, could you please? What do I have to sell my soul? And where do I sign?
Yeah, how do we get to 500? Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. What do we got tonight? What's tonight? Anything?
Actually, there is no Rattler review tonight.
No Rory Shiraki.
Rory is back next week.
Next week, all right.
And then we'll pivot. This is how we do it. Tomorrow, we'll have our 9 a.m. hour.
Court report, baby.
We got the court report 1 o'clock, the 9 a.m. hour. We got Soccer Guys at 9, followed by Saturday Morning Bottle Share at 9:30, and some college basketball and NBA goodness over the weekend as well.
Good times. Enjoy your travels and your time with family, buddy. And, it'll be fun. It'll be good. Good work, Matthew. Have a great weekend, everybody. Go Noles. And don't forget, court report tomorrow, 1 o'clock. We'll be on with you, and then I'll talk to you on Monday.